Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live. We are live on a Monday night, and another week in wrestling is kicking off. So, of course, you got to be at the Wrasslin for Life Network for all your live coverage. We got night 2 of the draft coming up. 3+ hours of wrestling coverage, rumors, stories, CM Punk's everywhere. He's like, Waldo, we got so much to get into, folks. So much to talk about. These two pretty faces are going to take you through your alternative commentary, the best wrestling coverage out there. So grab your snacks, grab your feel good, put a smile on your face, strap in, strap on. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live. Like I said, folks, we are live and back at it again. Happy Monday. You got Monday in the books. We're 1 down, 4 to go. But before we go to bed, we got a little bit of wrestling to get into. I see the chat filling up already, but I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We are the alternative commentary. We are unscripted. We are unfiltered. We're coming off the hip, folks. It's a good one, and we do not stop. The most unbiased wrestling coverage you can get out there. With all that being said, I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and I'm joined by Bucko.
Yeah, we got there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and oh, baby, I like you raw. Yeah, baby, I like you raw.
He does. It's true.
Pause. But
with
yeah,
all that being said,
sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say, I'm excited. We've got night 2 of the draft. It's the night 2 spectacular. You know, you got to show up and show out because that's what the show is about.
That's it. We're on early. Part of the reason why we're on early is there were some draft picks made over the weekend. So I thought we would talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about what happened on Friday. We will get the opinion from the chat. I see it filling up. I see people coming in. So we're going to talk about all of it tonight. And folks, we always want to hear your opinion. Obviously, there's some things that are being debated in the IWC right now between new belts and new storylines and where they're going. Plus, this is technically the go-home show for Raw as we head into Smackdown.
Yeah, well, as we head into Backlash there.
Backlash. Did I say Smackdown?
Yes, you did say Smackdown. But
we are also heading towards Smackdown.
Shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Ronnie, what up? C-Money, what up? There, you got a whole entrance there. Kayla, what up? Damien, what up? The Bro family. Well, we might be seeing the Bro. Does the Bro get drafted tonight? No, the Bro got drafted last week, but he's got drafted the Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Richard, what up? Of out here with the wild accusations. Victor, what up? Ronnie, still disappointed in the Bruins loss last night. It was a good fight. Don't get the stuck man started on
Sorry. Was all that out loud?
The evil Vince McMahon laugh there out of KJ White.
Sorry, Ronnie. Sorry. One of the most epic, a racing one that they gave to my beloved Leafs, but one of the most epic failures in hockey history. I don't know about sports history, but a team that set a record with 65 wins goes out in the first round. They lost 7 games at home all year, and they lost 3 in this series. So not a good series for Boston. Boston's all pouty and cry, but listen, you guys have had lots of things to celebrate. So
my turn. On me. I'm just because I live in New England does not mean I represent the Boston Bruins.
It's very true.
Right.
Now you would be more intrigued with, I think, the game that's on tonight between the Rangers and the Devils are.
I was going to say JV's out here saying, "Sure, I got my fingers crossed for the Rangers."
The Devils in a battle,
but the Bro family is saying, "Judgment Day better be drafted to Raw, or you're going to kill everybody." I got an echo, but. Who do you? So that we want to get into predictions for the draft tonight first, or do we want to run through who's been drafted so far?
Well, I do have this to kind of recap. Who was drafted on the main show still relevant, so I'm just gonna pull that real quick. And then, of course, we'll update this as we go, and then we'll talk about the weekend pickups. But this was kind of how it played out on Friday. The graphic allowed for 10. They only went 8 rounds, so be it. But yeah, man, I mean, as we expected, Roman, we didn't expect him to go with Solo and Heyman, but
we've still got the Usos floating about here.
I thought it was a very telling thing that, you know, they drafted the Bloodline, but no Usos. Like that, to me, to put those 3 together and then call them the Bloodline, interesting times. But Cody Rhodes first to Raw. I don't think any debate happened there.
But so on a side note, real quick here, because I know we're still early before the show, but can we kind of start to put to rest about the whole of they didn't have a plan for Cody after WrestleMania, and we never knew, you know, they just jobbed him out because Hunter was still mad about this and that, like all of that nonsense. Like, I still think that they're building potentially to WrestleMania 40 because the story needs to be built around Roman versus Cody. Cody gets the new belt at some point. If Cody had beaten Roman and then they turn around and introduce the new belt, everyone's going to think, oh, so Roman's going to get that one now. And then B, now you
I don't know why people think that.
What?
I don't know why people think that Roman's going to get the new belt.
Because he is the guy. He is the tribal chief. He is the one you must acknowledge.
He's going to be nowhere near that belt.
Well, I'm saying if Cody beat him at WrestleMania.
Oh, Cody beat him. Yeah, then we'd have to a whole bunch of shit to figure out. Yeah.
But then too, now we've got them split across different brands, and if they actually hold to the brand split, then now Cody can develop his own story instead of my daddy.
Yeah, well, when like I'm predicting Cody to lose on Saturday against Brock Lesnar. I am. I think he's going to take a loss. I think we're not done with Cody Brock for a little bit. They got to stretch out 12 months. But for all the people that it's Vince and this is bullshit, and they got no plan. This has all been a plan. I know a YouTuber whose intro says AEW is better because of long-term booking. Yeah, bullshit. There's a plan here. There's always been a plan. Just because the fans don't always love the direction of the story they're telling, it doesn't mean they just woke up this morning and said, what the fuck should we do today? There's a plan.
Well, and speaking of, again, somebody like who's mentioned down here later on this list of Drew McIntyre getting drafted as well, with everybody was speculating about him with the Twitter blackout and his contract and this and that. And well, with AEW, does long-term booking just mean that it counts more than 24 hours? It took longer than that. It depends on your definition of long-term, I guess.
I think AEW's definition of long-term booking, like people are talking about long-term booking with Kenny and Moxley on Wednesday. No. That's not like when you put them in a match and then like 2 years later they happen to be in another match together. Like there was
no because you've got the Blackpool Combat Club and you've got the Elite storyline going on, but you've also had the Elite publicly admitting that the Bloodline's a better story than theirs. But we're talking about WWE here. We're not talking about AEW.
But it's good times. It's good. I think there's a plan, and I think getting Cody. If Roman and Cody were on the same show, everybody would just say, "When's Cody going to get a shot?" You just keep
reliving, you just stuck in the WrestleMania end line.
Yeah. Now Cody can win the Money in the Bank. Cody can win Royal Rumble again. Cody can do a whole lot of things to find his ass, chasing Roman for that belt. So relax. I think he's going to I think there's a plan here, and I believe there's a plan here. I know there's some bumps, and everybody was mad, but a lot of people I respect in the wrestling world said Cody not winning the belt at Mania was a good choice, because I know what the fans would be like right now. If we were sitting here right now, Nick, and he was the champion, he's boring. We're sick of him. When's the next guy going to win the belt? So
yeah, when do people start to turn on him? Where do you go from him winning it? That's the thing, is no one ever comes up with a solution past that. They just, no, we wanted him to win. Okay, and then what?
So plus I think the Bloodline's got an intriguing story to tell.
Oh, absolutely. But Rally, what up? JV, I bet you Brock saw that new shiny belt and went, I want it. Fair enough.
There's a high chance of that.
Rocco, and I did see your comment earlier. Shout out, I guess, your sister's birthday, and man's already stealing my intro, but heel Drew and babyface Cody coming soon. That's an interesting thing with this. Yep. Drew's going to probably be heel for the first time since he's been back. They both become tag team champions, or soon they both become tag champs together in 2010 and left the company. Now they're back on the same roster.
Yeah.
Interessante.
Yeah, I think this sets up the Golden Boys, right? I mean, it brings back that story, and Dustin Cody is such a pure baby face. If Drew comes back with a chip on his shoulder, he'll get heat quick. And I think this sets up nicely. We talked about all this signing with the WWE because it would be good for Cody. I think Drew is same vein.
Drew on the roster, like there's a lot of people that I feel like are on this roster, if not are going to end up on this roster, that are going to be good for a matchup with Cody. That's going to very much, I'm hoping if they use people properly that the 3 hours won't go as long as they seem to go at times.
Right.
But also with that new belt, Drew, and I think maybe a future draft pick later tonight, Seth Rollins, have been rumored to be the two people facing for that new belt at Night of Champions. Riyadh.
Now, there's been speculation about how we're getting to that new belt, and a lot of people have surmised. Like, I mean, it's very important how we deliver this belt to the next champion. It's got to be somebody with clout, but they got to earn it. Like, that's where they fucked up with Cody going into Mania, was that Royal Rumble was a layup, and it bothered a lot of people, including myself. So I like the idea of a tournament. You got lots of time. You could easily you were going to do King of the Ring, do a tournament for that belt. Imagine a tournament with Brock, Seth, Cody, McIntyre, Finn.
But even then, I feel like it doesn't need to be, shout out Greg, by the way. But it doesn't need to be exactly a tournament of, even if you have, to me, it's more of you need to have somebody who's been a champion before who could validate that belt, because we all know at this point it's the second place trophy. It is. Yeah,
but how do you get there? Like if it's Brock or Randy Orton, and it's still not. And listen, I got that.
You have to have some sort of like a fatal 4-way or something like that on Raw.
I'd rather see a tournament than a fatal 4-way. I love the idea of a good tournament,
but it depends on if they have
they have plenty. That's
not a bad shout. But then do you include Cody in the tournament? How do you have the tournament and
Cody's in the tournament?
And then he just loses again?
No, I think Cody can get to the final, but he would eventually lose. Yes, he'd get screwed like by Brock as you continue that story. I think there's a lot of options.
McIntyre.
Drew fucks him, maybe get some heat there, and then you have maybe Seth go over Drew, and then Seth, then Drew and Cody are mad at each other. But I love the idea of a tournament. I think they have so much talent to do it.
Well, we'll see who gets drafted later tonight, but. Well, first, Christopher here saying, hey, everyone, I'm a huge fan of the show. Hope you guys enjoy Raw tonight. Can you see a babyface Seth versus a heel Drew McIntyre to crown the first ever world championship? That's what we were just talking about. So, shout out, Chris.
I think Seth deserves it, man. The guy takes a lot of L's. He took 3 straight L's to Cody. Now he's got to fight fucking Omos.
But that's the final boss for Cody. Does Cody, and I've seen people kind of float this idea, is Cody just going through all of Roman's past opponents? Granted, I know Roman's ran through the main event scene. So, I mean, you throw a dart, you're going to hit somebody that Roman's beat for the title. But with now, he's probably going to go over Brock, I think. He's gone over Finn. Does he go over Drew? Does he go over Seth? All the way back to Roman.
Yeah, I think some way. I don't think they're going to run out of time on that within 12 months if they do it properly. But you never know how quick they bang them out. This Brock storyline is interesting. I don't think it's a slam dunk that Cody walks in and beats Brock. I don't know if that's their plan.
He doesn't beat Brock?
If he beats Brock.
He beat Brock, right.
But I mean, again, you need to bring some validity to this belt. You got to make it matter. And like you said, you got to put it in the hands of someone credible, and they got to earn it. You got to remember, the last time they split the belts, Eric Bischoff just handed the belt to Triple H. Here you go. And people were pissed. Like, oh, wait, that guy gets a new belt? No rhyme, no reason. Just here you go. That can't happen.
And speaking of handing off belts and everything, I'll get there here in a second. But Curtis says, Wrasslin for Life, acknowledge the Prince of the Mid-South.
Mid-South, I like it.
Well, then you should acknowledge us with hitting that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Let everybody know about us. Still got about 15 minutes before Monday Night Raw. draft night 2.
Draft night 2.
But now, if Rhea goes to Monday Night Raw, which I think she could potentially be the first pick overall tonight,
that would be ballsy.
Do we But so do we just switch belts again, like Becky and Charlotte, and that gets all nice and awkward, or just potentially like in our kind of back and forth draft of where I ended up with Rhea and Bianca, of then you end up with champion versus champion, or the backlash results play into this? Like, that's going to be the real interesting thing, I feel.
Yeah, I think that you can't have. The reason I believe that putting both champions on the same show is the division. Like, if they both end up on the same show and you do the same thing on Raw, Raw's developing another title for their women's champion. By the way, I think the women's titles should change too, and, you know, be more dignified. But that being said, I think that who would go for it? Who would you have competing for that new Raw women's title if that's the case?
Oh, well, Becky's involved with Trish. Does Charlotte go to Raw?
Maybe. Bailey?
Bailey's on SmackDown. Well, that's the thing. Is
that's
like,
right. All control delete right there.
Bianca and Io is SmackDown versus SmackDown, technically. Rhea and Zelina's the only one that they could maybe make Raw v Raw tonight in the draft, which then that becomes, you know, all right, well, you have the SmackDown title, you have the Raw title, so we just decide that both matches are for the other title.
Yeah, like I don't. It's interesting, and if I'm always a complainer when it comes to doing the same thing back to back. Kind of like when we give some shows shit for, like, you know, we just had a brawl last segment. Can we not have a brawl this segment and then this segment and this segment? So it's the same thing with the WWE. When they repeat their patterns, it's like, if you're going to do it for the men's title, you got to. So I think Rhea, like you said, is definitely going to Raw. I'm leaning towards that.
We'll get to, you know, who we think ends up being the first pick here. Thank God, Beardo. You remember Triple H was handed the big gold belt by Bischoff? Hell yeah. Why?
Of course I did.
J-Boy, what up? Steve, what up? Does Bray Wyatt get drafted tonight?
I don't think so. I think he just reappears. We get a lights out and creepy music, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And LA Knight's like, shit, not again.
All right.
Is LA Knight going to get drafted?
That's a interesting statement there.
Have you seen the rumors about Asuka apparently wanting a release?
I hate everyone that is going with that as a thing right now, because that is so much clickbait stuff. Because
it's 100% clickbait.
Out and said people are like, either like, she said something to the matter of fact of basically the world's full of bullshit, of in no shorter sentences saying that story is complete and utter horseshit. Asuka is somebody, she just came back in the whole kind of Anna gimmick. She's somebody too that hasn't been drafted yet, could go if Raw ends up they've got to just start anew with all the titles, essentially.
I love it.
Then Asuka involved in a tournament with somebody like Becky. Christ, we've still got Trish floating around, still got Charlotte floating around.
I'm sure what's her face is still here too.
Good old what's her name? Yeah.
Oh, exactly. What's her name?
What's her name?
Trish's best friend. You know, the extreme one. Lita.
Yes. Well, she's been injured. Bash 8. I'm sorry, but you guys' names? What? That is KJ White. What? I'm Nick. What? I'm not sure. What? Bobby, what's up, y'all? What up?
Right.
So there was. Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing at all. I just saw a comment that made me chuckle a little.
You're fine.
You're good to go.
I was just going to mention the supplemental draft picks that were made on the Smackdown Lowdown.
Smackdown Lowdown.
While I was trying to initially see if I thought it was going to be live, but it wasn't live. But so Apollo Crews has been drafted to Monday Night Raw. Candice LeRae, the Complaint Department, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, Dexter Loomis, JD McDonough, Natalia, the Viking Raiders, Zoe Stark, and the Maximum Male Models have all been drafted to Raw.
What the fuck happened while we went to sleep? It was 1-for-1. And we were laughing because SmackDown had 17 people. Raw's like, hold my beer.
SmackDown had 17, Raw had 10. So they drafted the other 7 in the supplemental.
Hold my beer. And SmackDown got 2.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you really want to think about it, yeah, they got
Hit
2
Row
out of there that are worth it. But yeah, they got Shit Row, Hit Row, which is all 3 of them. And then they also drafted Lacey Evans.
I love that pickup. I think Lacey's underrated. I know people hate her, and they should utilize that.
She's not on anything.
She comes and goes. It's the funniest fucking thing.
Pause.
It's true. Write it down.
Right. KJ and Nick. Yeah. So see, we even got people letting you know. If you don't know, now you know.
You should know.
Right. Mock draft. We did that. You can go and watch that after you're done watching this. Where you can see if we drafted better than they did, because we've talked about how this should be a one-night event instead of across like 3 nights and 3 shows and God knows how many others.
They made it hokey as shit. Like, again, even what we just laughed about, Nick, of like, in what fucking sports world would one team like, oh, we're gonna take these 12 people, you guys can have these 2? Why? What's the rhyme and reason? Explain it to me.
And also, we need to select. You can only select from this pool. So
that's dumb shit.
Get your top picks while you got them. Get them fast because they're gonna run out real quick. But that's the way. It's so interesting. Of now, if they just did it as a premium live event, you did a 1 hour even show, hour and a half, 2 hours. Fuck it. Premium live event or a special on a Saturday, and it was the WWE draft special. And most of the show was about the draft picks and them doing this and that, like we've seen before, to where like Undertaker threw a fit of getting drafted by Ric Flair, shit like that. And then you have maybe a match or 2 thrown in there. You can build, you have matches that like the Usos versus KO and Sammy, a WrestleMania rematch on something like that, that would warrant that.
I almost would have preferred if they went back to like, listen, okay, Raw's a bigger show. They're going to draft 3 people. You guys can draft 2, but this whole pool shit. And again, you can avoid making the picks and saving some good ones for later and make it count. Like I heard, I think it was Mark Henry talking about it. And I really respect that guy's opinion. And
that's because you like, because he says it's time for the main event.
I just like the guy. He's just a big, cool guy. I don't know what to tell you.
He's a big cuddly teddy bear.
Right? He's a big cuddly teddy bear. But he, definitely felt like there could have been, like, it was very flat, right? Triple H comes out and then some guest speakers come out. But I want to see, like, bring out the, like, hey, you just got drafted to Raw. How do you feel? And, like, make it, like, have a little ticker at the bottom. I thought, like, look, we got one.
Well, exactly. Well, speaking of it, speaking of the ticker of the Bro family asking, were you guys on Twitch? No, we haven't been on Twitch. We haven't started twitching yet.
I Twitch.
If we do on stream, someone please call the paramedics.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, no, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. We got all the socials floating down there beneath that. We got Discord, we got a merch store, we got anything and everything covered for you. And we're only expanding, and that's why, as I see the chat filling up, as we're about 8 minutes away from Monday Night Raw, we do have the super chat, the super stickers. If you want to make sure that we read your comments, you get the point across. If you want to help support the channel, you want to just help us make this to where this is a full-time gig. If we're just here talking wrestling all the time, we're already here enough as it is. Right. We'll just be a 24-hour wrestling buddies.
Breakfast with the boys will be a daily emission.
It will be a daily
brunch with the boys. Let's go brunch.
Yeah, brunch. I went on a whole tangent there, but kid, like I've been saying, the draft means absolutely nothing. They're hoping for a ratings boost. Remember NBA playoffs. Well, I think that's why they put their draft right around the NFL draft. When you search draft, it's gonna just pop up.
Yeah, it's genius. Genius
Marketing, folks. It's almost like they know what the fuck they're doing.
Sometimes, right? They're only
once in a while.
I love the people who are like, they're shit. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have a clue. Yes, they might fuck up some creative decisions. They might have an old man running amok, but they're still $1 billion company, folks.
Yeah, they didn't get there just by a happy accident. But
Mhm.
A-Town, what up? Bobby, what up? I think there was another Bobby there that was up there earlier that I clicked on and never shut it out. But Bobby, if you were in the chat earlier, I think I clicked on the comment.
Let's do it. Jilly's
Bye.
back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, do you find it the story about this whole revamping, modernizing their records, so to speak, was the way I read it. I found that a very interesting story, and I mean, it plays into the Roman Reigns thing and Bianca Belair and Gunther, where they want some modern record holders, right? Like, you know, they don't want to have to go back to Bruno San Martino when you're looking at records. Not that Roman's going to beat him. I'm not saying that.
True.
But it's interesting.
Well, true say, but it could also be a little bit because maybe some of those people haven't had the cleanest of records before and everything like that. Could it be because some of those people might be in another company or anything like that right
yeah, we
now?
need to erase some of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, some of those I think we just need to kind of squeegee off that record book there.
Maybe. I mean, you really want, like, I know we'll never take Hogan away, but maybe Vince would like to see Roman Reigns instead of Hogan's name at that part of the fucking record book.
I don't think it's Vince would like to. I think Hunter, I think shareholders, I think people Endeavor would like to see Roman Reigns' name ahead of Hollywood. It's not going to work for me, brother. Hogan.
Yeah. So, I mean, I found that very interesting, and it does kind of play into everything. And I do think that's part of this decision to come up with another belt, because I do think it insulates Roman. So, you know, we go into a Backlash or we go into a pay-per-view like Money in the Bank and Roman's not there. Well, we're still getting a title match, and we'll see how that goes. But this allows him just to keep being champion.
Oh, I get that, but it's one of those, like I said, of at the same time, it kind of, you get back to where you had like a world championship match opening the show and the Universal Championship ending the show, stuff like that. Of it just becomes.
But I don't think
this very much seems like a consolation prize.
I don't think so. And actually, like I said, going back to Mark Henry, he didn't think so. I listened to him intently. And I think for me, like I brought up earlier about Triple H getting the belt handed to him, right? But then you had those belt splits. And what they did with the other belt was you created superstars with that belt. So like what they're doing with this Monday belt, everybody hated the idea. But then you got John Cena as a champion. You got Eddie Guerrero. You got Rey Mysterio, Brock Lesnar. And they had a championship belt. Well, this one was still over here doing its thing. You know, it was happy. But you were building stars with this new belt. It was more likely to change hands. It was more of a workhorse title.
So you get instead of the SmackDown 6, you get a Raw 6?
Yeah, why not? Like, if I said to you, Eddie Guerrero's title run was a consolation prize, you tell me it was fucking stupid, and anybody in the chat would do it too. And it wasn't, but there was 2 champions at the time, you know, so it doesn't diminish the title. And again, the only way I think this title is truly a consolation prize is if Cody wins it. Cody touches that belt, they're all dead. The belt's dead.
Yeah, it's patient zero there. That belt, you might as well get rid of it. It's up there with the 24/7 title and all of that.
Give it to Nikki Cross. She knows what to do.
You'll miss the trash bin like usual. Let R-Truth hold it. Let R-Truth be the first ever world heavyweight champion on Monday Night Raw.
That would be amazing. Just accidentally step into it. Like, I'm not even supposed to.
I've already seen the memes going around of he might make an appearance or something like that, depending on his knee injury, of just show up of, I'm so glad to be in the NFL draft. And then there's like Hunter out there of Truth. It's the WWE draft.
That would be amazing.
Really?
That'd be amazing. I'm down. I love R-Truth. I mean, I can't believe he's still doing it. And I mean, he was relatively injury-free a lot of years. They sent him down to NXT, and he went, that was a bad hop.
Yeah, Ron Killings is Superman.
He really is. Speaking of, sorry, you made me think of Sanity. Wolf broke his leg or his ankle. Poor guy.
I don't know. I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
They were, what was it? WCW, not WCW. Holy fuck.
Dub X Dub.
Dub X Dub. I think I heard. I didn't catch the whole story, but I believe that Wolf shagged up his leg or his ankle and will be out for a while.
Well, T's and P's. Well, Monday Night Raw drafted Indy Hartwell. Sorry, I saw the comment there, but drafted Indy Hartwell, and she's in a walking boot.
Yeah, I think they don't care if she's in a walking boot because she's gonna find her way on Raw. I think.
Yeah, well, most of the way.
Most of
is
the
on Monday Night
way.
Raw. I feel like we kind of called that a little bit beforehand, but I will blitz through these comments as we're about a minute right now or so from Monday Night Raw kicking off.
I got about 7 seconds. Oh, no, a little bit longer. You're right.
Yeah. Gigi Dolan versus JC Jane. I've heard it's going to be a loser leaves NXT. Well, that's going to be interesting on NXT when we're here tomorrow night. There's certain people that are going to be on that are in the NXT locker room that have been drafted. So, and more might be drafted tonight. So
it's going to be interesting. And I mean, obviously, you feel like they brought back the former champions to take back those belts as the current champions come on up. And I appreciate Shawn Michaels selling it like, fuck, they're drafting all my guys and girls.
Well, we got the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. They're Alba Fire and Isla Dawn getting drafted to SmackDown. So
it gives me hope that they might try and do something with this women's tag team division. It gives me a little sprinkling of hope. If you're going to draft that team, maybe we can build around that a little bit. They're good.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Zodiac, if you don't know, now you know. Wrestling for Life. Too sweet. Yeah.
But folks, we are coming up to the hour mark. I will remind everybody, if you haven't got your snacks and your feel good yet, go find them because we're about to strap in 3+ hours. Like I said, we're kicking off the show. It's going to be a fun one. I'm not going to do the little video again.
Okay. I was getting ready for it. I was like, wait, hold on.
Right? You want to? Yeah. No. But all that being said, we're still rolling through. That is Big Nick. I am KJ. This is Wrestling for Life Network. We're back all week long for your alternative commentary to all this wrestling. So right now I'm getting the opening credits. Then no, forever, Vince.
Yeah. So see, we're like perfect right now. So no one's saying anything.
I think that about us too, bud.
Well, I know, you're deep in my heart, but I'm just saying right now, I think we're synced up perfectly in more ways than one. Pause.
It feels good.
Oh, I was going to read that. If you gave us the idea to do a mock draft, well, see, that's why, though, often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated the Wrestling for Life Network. Hi.
Where I missed that comment.
It was.
I got clicky.
Right there. The Bro family saying you gave us the idea to do a mock draft this weekend.
Nice. We appreciate that, Bro family.
Shout out. Finn Balor versus Edge at Backlash confirmed. I have not seen that. Richard, you out there smoking the opiums.
Richard is the newsbreaker of the news that never happened.
Newsbreaker no one wanted. Why?
Sometimes he gets
have Roman dethrone Hogan. Zoe Stark got drafted to Raw. Also, yes, we did mention that, Steve. Small Mark, what up? Christ, there's so many.
I kind of wish they were all sitting in the locker room and reacting. Like, I love seeing the real emotion. Like, let's get some feel to this. It's
talked about that.
You might as well just let AI draft the 2 fucking shows.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. AI is only taking over anything and everything. Benjamin saying, what are you guys watching on? I'm watching it on the USA Network on my desktop.
I have to watch it on Sportsnet.
Canada.
Hey.
Was your country founded by Arthur Fonzarelli? That's why you say
was just about to make a Fonzie fucking joke, dude. Get out of my head.
Ziggler for first champion. Oh, good Lord. Well, we've still got the free agent pool. Who do we see as the free agent pool tonight?
I don't even know how to make the free agent pool, but I'm okay with it for now. I'm more curious.
Is there. Oh, it's time to play the game.
Yeah, let's go. Trips is not fucking around, and we will have.
What do you fellas think about McIntyre? Yes, I agree with that. I'm sorry.
A lot of people don't know Dolph. I mean, you could bring Dolph back to hang out with Mac, but I think it just slows him down.
Right now, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Now, yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Trevor, what up? Christ almighty. I looked away for 10 seconds and the comment sections has gone insane. Triple, hey, what? X Mulder?
X Mulder, welcome back, buddy.
X-Files. The truth is out there. Well, right now, the game is out there on Monday Night Raw. With so many NXT stars getting called up, do you see any releases coming soon? That's been speculated, but I think
there should be
in the office. I think it's in the office.
But I mean, still, I think with personnel, there could be some wrestlers that listen, we shuffled you around a couple times. This might not be working. It all depends on what you do and who's left.
Vince keeps walking up to K and Cross. I told you, shave them sideburns.
It's loud in here, says Trips.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Monopoly time, Terrence. What up? Carmelo Hayes, number 1. Oh, could you imagine?
Hey, I drafted him.
Impact. He is him Jones. He is him Duncan. He's out here in his Himbalands, all of that. You're trying to sell that too hard, saying that shook WWE to its foundation with that fucking title. Rhea to Raw, KO, Sammy to SmackDown. First picks, my guess. That's a good question. Is where do
I think Seth or Rhea,
me and KO end up?
They're gonna get drafted together. I think. Wait.
Small Mark's bringing up a good point. I'm echoing through your stream. It sounds like. I have the voice so powerful.
Okay. Okay, so he's explaining the rules.
As a result of Roman Reigns drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, that gorgeous new belt is over here on Raw. Woo woo.
As a result of
but it's pretty.
SmackDown, we will be crowning. Okay, I thought they were about to say, like, because of Roman, we're going to be drafting the Usos. I think that's where the crowd went to, because you heard the boos and then now the cheers of Monday Night Raw gets the new belt. Well, they got
Nick
3 hours to do your tournament that you want.
Nick is echoing. I can hear the echo now.
I've just got a big, boisterous, powerful voice. What?
Boom. Let me double check.
Oh, so we've got the draft pool again, which we do have. Austin Theory, I think, as a layup to SmackDown because Gunther going to Raw. Seth Rollins, I think, is a layup to Monday Night Raw. There's some of these that I think are almost oddly enough layups.
Dun, dun, dun. So who's going, folks? Who's going?
Brock Lesnar is not eligible to be drafted tonight.
Of course.
Brock Lesnar, again, does he do the whole Heyman thing of thanks to my advocate, will not be able to be drafted?
Because he is the beast Brock Lesnar.
Well, I mean, Hunter, you've been in that Kimura lock. I get you.
So Brock can appear on any brand at any time. Guys, don't get slippery with this.
Pause. Oh God!
This is where you'll fuck up. This is where the hater, this is where the people that criticize everything they're doing right now end up being right if they fuck around too much.
Right. Brock goes wherever he wants. Yes, Brock Lesnar does what the hell he wants to do.
Are you ready?
Oh God. Nick is the big dog, but KJ is the tribal chief. Oh,
just sitting at a table. Enjoying
he
the
is
meal.
Canada incarnate. See, first number 1 pick. I told you, Rhea Ripley getting drafted to Monday Night Raw. So now, how do we get the switching the handoffs of the belts? Does Zelina get drafted to Raw and then now?
Did you just say eradicated title though?
What?
I don't know what he said, but Rhea Ripley goes to Raw,
selects and secures the United States Championship. Austin Theory. So we've had a few layups here of now this is what happens when you do it over 2 nights. You have a few that you seem like you can already see them coming a mile away.
A little bit, but they're the big names. They should go. Like when you showed up to the NFL draft, you were pretty confident 1 or 2 guys were going to be number 1, right?
Yeah, but
that's how it should be.
Not 2 days later.
Well, that's the issue. And I know you were, you understood, and so did I. But, I mean, I hate it.
Seth Rollins is drafted to Monday Night Raw, Michael. She's the Eradicator. Does anyone remember that skit from Kids in the Hall? I feel like you would.
See, I'd like to see their reaction. I would like to see some of them come out and be like, say something.
Yeah, of just Rhea throws down the belt of I'm the goddamn SmackDown Women's Champion. As A-Town saying another women's title swap in the ring. Well, if Zelina gets drafted to Raw,
listen to the crowd.
Then it's SmackDown's Women's Championship becomes a Raw Women's Championship, and Raw's Women's Championship becomes a SmackDown's Women's Championship.
Right? I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they should just
Rollins,
give him new
Monday Night Rollins. What? Sorry.
Look, he is over as fuck.
As SmackDown draft Charlotte Flair. Did she even go in our draft?
Who?
Charlotte Flair. Woo!
We waited on her because we thought she was on hiatus.
Yeah.
Instead, she's here saying hiatus.
Well, I've heard rumors that big old Papa H there might be in attendance tonight. If he might do his best Rob Van Dam impression of reading the cue card backwards, upside down.
How amazing is that?
How amazing! You know, when you dress for the job that you.
You're right.
The wise man in the bloodline, Paul Heyman, coming out right now. But yeah, I liked when they had the guest host, like the NFL draft does, of like, you know, drafting for Monday Night Raw. Here's a legend.
Getting booze. Paul getting booze, or at least the bloodline was. It feels so emotionless, right? Like, here's the next group of people. Moving on.
No one's explaining who's deciding this. Why are they doing this?
That's the other part. Who
decides who? Who picks who? Like,
yeah. Why did they? And how about, you know, even the commentary? Well, he's the U.S. champion. He's got a bright future.
Hunter, just hire us. We'll be like the dudes on ESPN and NFL Network,
right?
During the WWE draft of like, so SmackDown right now here really needs to sit there and draft in their, you know, women's division. So I could see them going, you know, these are the best on my board type of stuff. We'll get into that, like, versus just out of nowhere of so-and-so gets drafted here, so-and-so gets drafted there. Who's deciding?
Yeah, but why? Yeah, like, yeah, it's interesting. I hope if the brand split starts well, Jimmy versus Riddle. All right. But if they stay true, like, I want to see trades. I want to see, like, the contract disputes. I want someone to get drafted and refuse to go. Oh, I don't want to go to that show.
That's what made the original drafts, like with when you had Vince and you had Ric Flair up there, made it entertaining. But we are getting Jimmy Uso versus, I believe, Matt Riddle later tonight. We're also getting LeWo versus Judgment Day.
Hey, did you hear fucking LeWo is the number one merch pusher right now?
Because the last everybody that's of our ilk, of our age, of our vintage, that remembers that of now, cool, I can wear this and I can do my Eddie, you know, I can wear it with my Eddie stuff and it fits perfectly.
Maybe Chavo's right. They are making a min off it.
Shit. Just a little bit. Well, did you see him literally heel turn and backpedal so much on that? I was just trying to work the heel.
I was just playing. I was just playing.
Right. But we've got Paul Heyman right now in the ring.
Am I crazy? I was 100% convinced we were going to commercial. That's why I started talking as much. I didn't even realize.
I literally thought we were too, because we were advertising matches later tonight and everything like that. But now, is it interesting that if you look at it, number one pick on Friday Night SmackDown is Roman Reigns. Number one pick on Monday Night Raw is Rhea Ripley. Is that top star in one division, top star here number two, like 1A, 1B? We can't have you both on here because that would seem too top heavy.
Yeah, I guess. To me, I don't get it, right? Like, what matters?
You're telling me Rhea's not a draw right now?
Yeah, that's why she should have, like, that's where I like almost complained that she should be drafted high, but I almost want her drafted on Friday, like one draft where, you know, she's second, third overall, and you're like, okay, let's move on. Instead of her waiting till Monday, like a second, you know. But
yeah, it's the second round. It's the second round.
Fair enough. Now, Paul's saying we have to deal with the fate of the Usos.
Well, that's the thing, is they could get drafted to Monday Night Raw. Bobby Heyman is the master puppeteer. I mean,
he is.
Riddle versus Jimmy Uso, says Victor. Both women's titles in SmackDown. That's interesting.
We're gonna get
kind of are, but they're technically not.
What
up? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm curious. Unless what? Zelina Vega wins it and Luo gets drafted to Monday?
No, Selena gets drafted to Monday Night Raw, and then you just switch which belt both matches for. You don't do the awkward handoff in the ring. If you just
No, because they're you wouldn't, right?
solo non grata. So Io wins the women's championship on Raw and goes to Monday Night Raw, and
Damage Control
Zelina
got
wins
drafted
the
to
SmackDown championship and goes to SmackDown.
Where did we got to look at our chart here? We need a reminder for a second. I need a refresher. Okay, wait.
I'm talking.
Okay, so I mean, now you got
Belair, and then we've got now Rhea to Raw.
Ooh, you're SmackDown setting up a stellar women's division.
Well, we've got Charlotte, Belair, Bailey. So we've got three halves of the four horsewomen.
Right? Charlotte going seventh or second.
But we've got Rhea and Seth going.
How do you feel about Theory
going backwards, actually? So Rhea and Seth going to Monday Night Raw, and Theory and Charlotte going to SmackDown.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do you feel about Theory going that high?
And you had to because of the U.S. title. It felt like you had to do it. But we've got Heyman out here cutting a promo. The Artist, what up? Not going to happen, Heyman. Io beats Bianca at Backlash and gets drafted to Raw. Well, she's already been technically drafted to SmackDown.
This is smart. Sorry, Nick. Paul Heyman's doing exactly what the WWE sent him on a mission tonight, right? Like this part of the promo is that belt, Roman can never compete for it. Roman can never touch it. Roman will not be here on Raw. He will be on SmackDown. That is his thing. Like they're really, let's push that separation. Paulie, go sing a song.
Absolutely. This is 100% of he's saying a little bit of, I guess, what guys like myself, etc., have thought of. This is the secondary title. This is the afterthought. This is
but I think he's actually establishing the opposite here. That's he's not saying like he does degrade in the sense of who he is, but at the end of
as I've got Seth Franklin Rollins coming out right now.
This might be your first world champion, guys.
Well, we've said that the rumor, the accusation, the speculation is going to be him versus Drew McIntyre at Night of Champions.
The place
for that belt
popped.
Have you seen the video of when they did the European tour and everything like that? And they were in, I want to say like Paris or somewhere in France and everything like that. And they get off the train and the entire train station is doing Seth Rollins's entrance music, the sing along.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I think I reposted.
Chris Jericho top that.
Like it was huge, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. Sammy goes to NXT. No. Here comes Seth, and they singing his battle hymn. Is that what you would call it?
Battle hymn. The Battle Symphony cries, but that's quite the shirt.
Well, does mother know thou weareth her drapes?
I'm waiting for him to break out into fucking Hamlet.
Yeah.
To be or not to be.
Paul Heyman, I think thou dost protest too much. As the crowd's still singing along with him, but the Artist says, I don't get the Seth Rollins pop, though. Someone explain this to me.
People love
he naturally turned babyface. He was supposed to be their just douchey heel of they managed to do maximum male models better than when they actually did maximum male models with Seth, with Pretty Deadly, and he's gotten over.
No, he's definitely gotten over, and he's found a way to be relevant, and he's found a way to be. He matters. I sat on here for like hours, stream after stream after stream, just like I'm sick of this guy. The laugh is too much. What is he doing? And it just gradually got to a point where he beat us into submission. Like we just give in. Like fuck it. All right, we like you now.
Right. Victor, she already did get drafted to SmackDown. Small Mark says the shakeup and brand split is exciting and it's not a draft, it's a brand placement. GMs or talents in the green room winning would take it to the next level. Small Mark, you read our minds. We've been here and said that, I feel.
Yeah. And I don't disagree. I mean, yeah, they make it feel like a brand placement. They should be making it feel like a draft.
Right.
Give me some spontaneity. Give me some like, oh, wait, Fox forfeits the 4th pick for 2 picks in the 5th round. Like something, right? Like we did.
We traded in our own mock draft.
Right? Do something. Give me something.
Right. Well, if they, like I said, if they sat there and made it a one-night event, and you literally had it matter of like, this is the 4th round, and in the 4th round, in the 7th round, however many rounds you got to make it, and then you have your undrafted free agents. Treat it like the NFL does. You want to act like you're a sport, act like you're a sport.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I completely agree with that. Make it feel like a sport. Make it feel cool. Have a little ticker or something going by saying 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And, you
could even sit there and have, say, whoever's the advocate for Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown has traded the 75th overall pick to Monday Night Raw. And then on the ticker, it says, SmackDown has traded such and such pick to Monday Night Raw for this pick and this pick and this pick and stuff like that.
Yeah. And this is interesting. Seth basically selling that he wants to be the first champion. He's going to show the world what a real champion looks like. Paul got a phone call.
Just yelling at the crowd. Is Seth just
playing it like the fiddle.
Seth is so good. Now, as much as everyone was, Cody needs to be the one to finish the story and beat Roman.
Right?
Could it be Seth? Could it be Seth? That's the architect that finally took down every last bit.
Like, who else in the wrestling world is getting this kind of sound right now? Like, who's getting this much love?
Literally, that they're popping at him, just going, if he's upset with me now.
You're pissing off your tribal chief.
How long do you think it would be? How long do you think it would take for me to get Paul Heyman flat on this canvas so I can stomp his head in? 5 seconds, 4 seconds.
And it's audience, but he's talking to the audience. It's beautiful. Not just in the ring talking, but talking to the people.
Solo coming out right now. So Solo playing the bodyguard, obviously, here. He's the
does it mean we're gonna get Solo and Seth?
I've heard that was speculated. I heard that might have been advertised. I'm not positive. But this again, though, how many people, and I hate to talk about the other promotion just in the sense of we're not trying to do 1A to 1B. But how many guys in AEW right now could pull off what Seth just did there?
Yeah, no, and I mean it's a different animal, right? Different size of crowd to play with, and yeah, again, it's all of wrestling. Like it's really.
And by the time we get back from commercial break, the following match will be confirmed. So we've got Paul Heyman out here actually pitching to commercial break right now. That we're gonna get Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa, which is gonna be the opening match of Monday Night Raw. As we're now 22 minutes into the program here before we've had an actual bell ring.
I think Solo and Seth is going to be the main event. I don't think it's up next, is it?
Well, Heyman was just sitting there pitching to commercial here.
He said the match will be confirmed for tonight, so it'll be a quick turnaround.
Fair enough.
Seth,
get me on the technicalities here. Seth versus Solo. Artists that like that. Larry, what up? Heather, what up? Keyshawn, what up? Roman called up Solo real quick.
Yeah.
Solo should be the new 3-second warning. Did someone say 3 seconds?
Did somebody say 3 seconds?
Scott already with the heavy prediction saying Solo loses clean tonight.
I'm kind of with him.
Oh,
Seth needs a big dub, and Solo's off to SmackDown after tonight, so who cares?
Right.
Heather.
Bobby saying stomp Solo. Terrence Bailey is wearing Kane's colors. Why?
I didn't dress up.
I didn't know Kane specifically owned the copyright for the colors red and black. Otherwise, he's got a gimmick infringement there with Monday
With a
Night
lot
Raw.
of people.
Yeah, with quite a few. Victor, Bailey, and Dakota versus Raquel and Liv next, says Victor. I'm in commercial break. I don't know about you, sir. Who's your
Are you surprised? They haven't found a way to kill Alt Control Delete yet?
I think they have. They just don't want to do it. Like, I don't. It's been the whole issue with that whole faction. It's been stop and start. It's been a failure to launch, I feel.
Right. So maybe it is the next match. You might be right. Okay, there you go.
Boston. Cool. So do I have to say it like that? Like Boston? Right. Gamer. Now this is a solid opener of the show. Looks like the writing is getting much better here for Raw. Now, what if someone said Vince was in charge of creative for this show?
It was Vince. It's all Vince.
Everyone's wrestling minds would just explode right then.
And I mean, I think when it comes to things like Triple H and shit, he's been very crafty with his words and very, the words are very thought out. Like when he came out last week and he said, I get to build the future. Like he made it very clear, like I'm doing this, guys, even if we don't believe him.
Yeah. Right. Even if you can see the gun pressed to my
don't
back.
Look behind the curtain.
Don't look behind the curtain. Yeah, the all-powerful Oz McMahon. Don't look behind the curtain. A-Town. I will be back with a 24-ounce Nick Weiser after these commercial messages. What?
Cheers.
That's going to be the next shirt that shows up on the merch store. It's just Nick Weiser's now. If I'm just going to completely just be stone cold here.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to toe a line here on gimmick infringement, sir.
Right, yeah. Gimmick infringement of, I don't want to eat no stunner here.
Right.
I blame Vince's mustache.
If you're taking stunner, can you do it on cam, though? It'd be really good for us.
Fair enough. I mean, if I'm going to do it.
I'd take one. Fuck it.
I mean, you can't sell it worse than Vince, so.
I don't think no, my legs bend.
Right. I am a functioning human being. I am not an animatronic.
They ever expose Vince as a robot more than him trying to bend his leg for a stunner? We on
Calculon out there taking a fucking stunner. Right. I'd be happy if it was Vince because then I could have some faith in him again.
Yeah, no kidding.
You got faith in the mustache.
Hey, at the end of the day, as long as the show's good, I don't give a fuck who writes it.
Right. Yeah.
Let's write it good. Real good.
Truth comes out. It was a nest of baboons just with typewriters backstage. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. I see Rhea backstage complaining to have Raquel drafted to SmackDown. That would be interesting, though, again, if they sat there and they played in the storylines of, say, Rey Mysterio has been drafted to Friday Night SmackDown, and then Dom turns and just is laughing in his dad's face of, ha, 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 this and that. And then Dominic Mysterio has been drafted to Friday Night SmackDown. And then you can play into it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options here. Draft Kevin Patrick to anywhere but the comment. Yeah, draft him to fucking catering, please.
Kevin Patrick is a prime example of why we exist, folks. And we are your alternative commentary when it comes to anything and everything. We give it to you completely unfiltered, uncut, uncensored, unfiltered. I feel like I said that twice.
Right, I think so. Well, we got Cody Rhodes and Adam Pearce sucking up to Cody for some reason. Asked him to be nice, I suppose.
But yeah, so tonight, so it wasn't confirmed for next. Thank you.
I didn't know.
I know. I thought it sounded like it with the way Heyman's pitching the commercial. But we got Seth and Solo signed up. That must be the main event. But we've got Brock and Cody both backstage. But Victor, what up? Thank you very much for the super chat. Mercedes Monet was an Impact supporting Trinity Star, aka Naomi Friday, and CM Punk was backstage playing Uno, reported by Fightful.
Right.
Yes, Impact Wrestling is the place to be if you're a professional wrestler to hang out on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night.
Right. Well, what kills me is like we're now at the point where we can tell you he was playing Uno. Next week, we'll tell you what color his shit was. Let's go. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Impact is the place to be lately.
Well, that's the thing is it's, the place they hang out on a Thursday night, and that's where you need to be here to hang out with KJ White and Miss Luna Havoc covering Impact. Why? You never know who might show up. It could be Chick Magnet Punk, Chicago Made Punk. It could be Naomi. Well, he's out there with the bald head gimmick too and everything. He's out there doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Why is she so happy? Killing
her whole gimmick is a back flex.
Why are you so happy? It's killing me. I mean, if I could take her and live, I'd be pretty happy too.
But so it's Bailey and Dakota versus Raquel and Liv versus Kai and Sky here.
I found like these people, all control delete.
You people.
All control delete have been acting like they're about to break up for weeks, and now they got matching uniforms. It's cute.
They're not matching.
It's pretty close to matching.
Not even a little bit.
I felt like they coordinated a little.
Furthest away. I'm waiting for the heel turn to where Kai and Sky turns heel and Bailey turns face, oddly enough, honestly. And she doesn't go back to the wacky waving inflatable arm flame too, man.
Right.
Wacky waving arm.
I think she might be heading that way.
No. Well, she goes babyface, but not that.
No, you don't think so?
Mm-mm.
She doesn't go back to being a hugger?
No. She doesn't go full TK. Never go full TK. But we've got Raquel and Liv versus Dakota and Bailey. So, folks, give some predictions in the chat. If you haven't done so already, be a friend, tell a friend.
Kevin Patrick would be great for like a fucking like sit down interview segment. So tell me about your feelings.
No, he's great for ASMR because you can't fucking hear him. So he just puts you to fucking sleep.
Fair enough. I was trying to be nice.
I'm not. That's fine.
Why does Raquel like smaller wrestlers than herself? Because they're all smaller than her, Larry.
Because they can't backflex like her. Happy May 1st tomorrow, payday. Well, it's May 1st right now, so everybody gets your Justin Timberlake meme set up for it's gonna be May.
No, that's the first time I heard that all day. I'm so mad at you right now.
Folks, keep track because it only took an hour and 2 minutes into the stream before KJ got mad at me. So new record
and sync to do it.
Right. I think EO might be the one to turn babyface.
Babyface EO.
Ooh.
How
so? Explain. Show your work, sir.
But to me, she's the evilest one of the bunch.
Now, why do you think that?
She just got that evil look, man. She look intense. She ready, like she stick you in the back the minute you turn around.
Right. Well, we're in commercial break right now. As damage control, I don't know. I'm used to Kai and Sky, so I'm trying to think of a Bailey and Dakota Kai acronym-y name, and I can't quite make it there.
Right. We'll get there. 30 minutes before the first lockup. What was the first 30 minutes without the lockup decent, Nick?
If it was, I want to say yes, but I also want to give a reason as to how it could have been better, I guess. Again, if it goes back to that being that this is their draft spectacular of we got hyped for it on Friday, and then now you got to wait for Smackdown Lowdown to get the supplemental picks. And then you can tune into Monday Night Raw and see the other number one draft picks who could get drafted. Do it as one thing, and I think it'd be way better.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when we draft.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad first half hour.
No, I enjoyed the first half an hour. I mean, again, there was a little lack of feel to the picks, but we got through it. I loved Seth and Paul in the ring together. It almost makes me mad that they're not on the same show because that was fun. Like two guys that can handle a mic. It sounds like two guys having a chit chat. It doesn't sound like a scripted promo. It doesn't sound forced. It's just this is how it goes. And right now, Seth has the crowd eating out of the palm of their hands.
But absolutely, that goes again to those who I guess think WWE is nothing but Roman.
No.
That shows you there's so much there that even I feel AW can't quite compete with.
I really want this new championship, and I know there's a lot of skepticism around it, and only time will tell. But I really, really want this new championship to prove that point. That we're getting fucking bangers. We're getting Seth versus Gunther. We're getting Seth. I'm just assuming Seth, but we get Seth versus Cody. Who do we just
It has to be a title that's defended almost, if not weekly, if not almost every other weekly. Like it's defended fairly often on quote unquote free television in the main event of Monday Night Raw, because then it keeps you to stay around for the third hour as KJ takes a pause for the cause here. So he can stay around for the third hour, because 100% we'll be here, folks. But if you have it defended every other week or something like that, or every couple of weeks, it gives you a reason to stick around for the third hour. It gives you a reason to get through those 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, depending on how you feel. And even then, I think if you do it right, if done right, it can be used as a spotlight. It can be used as something that could help elevate a fair amount of guys, on top of validate that as a championship. But it all, depends on how they manage to book it. Larry saying Vic Corey as well. What did Victor say? Carmella and Corey Graves announced pregnancy. Hopefully all goes well this time. Fair enough. I don't want to speculate on nothing like that, but I 100% hope everything goes well with that. I think that very much explains why she's been on a bit of a pause for the cause here. Part-timer Roman. Yeah, but that's the thing, is if we get the opposite of that on Monday Night Raw, it makes Monday Night Raw something that was very compelling. Of as much as people can knock WCW and Eric Bischoff with, you got Hogan versus Goldberg free in the Georgia Dome, but it didn't make you tune the skin, and because you knew that the WWE title or the World Heavyweight Championship at the time, WCW Championship, could be defended at pretty much any time. Bonker saying Seth Drew. Yes, I have heard that that's what was speculated. Major botch there by Liv. I missed it potentially by me talking, but I've got Raquel right now throwing Dakota halfway across the ring. As Bailey puts herself in the way for the big splash. And again, a fall away slam from Dakota, but Bailey took the splash for Dakota. Oh, 1, 2 count. I would thought that might have been to where Bailey uses that of, well, see how I, took this to protect you. I could see Bailey, I think, is going to be the baby face that comes out of this group. Keyshawn says, thank you, Dale. As Liv off the shoulders of Raquel. Bailey with a spear into Raquel, as we've got Dakota and Liv right now in the ring. Who going to SmackDown next pick now? Kenneth, we don't know the next pick right now. Canadian Destroyer from Dakota for a 2 count. Interesting. Well, I think Monday Night Raw would get the first pick overall out of this. But if you're asking specifically, as Dakota hits the kind of V-trigger onto Raquel on the ropes, Bailey with the blind tag. Bailey with a roll up. 1, 2, 3. Bailey picks up the win with the roll up, the most devastating move in professional wrestling. The small package roll up there on Liv Morgan for the 1, 2, 3. But if I'm saying first pick for SmackDown after this, do we build tension throughout the night to where if the Usos go to Raw or SmackDown, which they could still very much go to Raw, they could be the next pick if we're being honest. Be interesting if the Usos were the next pick and then say Sammy and KO were the next pick after that. But as Bailey kissing Dakota on the forehead after they pick up the roll-up victory on Raquel and Liv. Bailey with the pinfall victory on Liv. But we've got Booker T coming out to make the next pick. Shucky ducky quack quack. Can we ban the roll-up? It's becoming very annoying. Well, I mean, as long as you don't ban it around me, because, sometimes I like to roll up here. So we're doing husband versus wife. We're doing KJ's favorite Hall of Famer here, the Queen, Charmel, coming out to do the next draft pick with her husband, King Booker T. Yeah, Bash gets it, King Booker. But so who do you think are going to be the next 4 draft picks? Because we're getting 2 apiece here. Who do you think is going to be the next top 4 people drafted? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what the super chats, the super stickers, as I see about 61 people kicking around. So if you haven't done so already, folks, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. We are here covering anything and everything. We'll be back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow night for Tuesday NXT, which that's going to be a fair amount of people that's their last time on NXT. Like we talked about, Apollo Crews has been drafted. Zoe Starks has been drafted. JD McDonough has been drafted. Isla Dawn, and Alba Fire have been drafted. And they're competing for a women's tag team championship match tomorrow on NXT. Granted, the draft doesn't take effect till after Backlash, which we'll be here live covering. But it's still interesting to see the ripple effects that this is going to have here, of what storylines kind of wrap up real quick, or what kind of hard shifts we get in stories here. Could we get the Judgment Day beyond even the Bloodline getting drafted across different brands? Could we see the Judgment Day drafted across different brands? Because the only person that we've seen, I believe, drafted out of the Judgment Day so far is Rhea Ripley by herself. So we could still see Finn Balor drafted somewhere. We could still see, I'm just checking through the picks from on Friday. Yeah, we could still see Finn Balor drafted somewhere. We could still see Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio drafted somewhere. So it's going to be interesting to see who falls where and who gets picked on screen versus as a quote-unquote supplemental pick here. Larry says, Nick, what if just before SummerSlam, Hunter says Raw and SmackDown brands are officially black or officially back? Sorry. Well, I think he's already kind of said with the whole draft that they're back, so I don't know what we're getting at there with that. But I think it's going to be interesting to see where things shake up after this. So how everything's handled after Backlash, to me, is going to be very interesting, I feel. If they stay hard to brand splits and these are the people on here and these are the people on this show, and there's no wild card rule, there's no Cody Rhodes shows up on every show, Roman shows up on every show type of thing. That's going to be the real interesting tell to me. Steve says Usos and KO and Sami. So you agree with me if you think that those could be the next 2 picks here. I heard rumors Eric Bischoff will be on the 3rd hour of Monday Night Raw. Damien, sometimes you need to put the hopium pipe down, I feel a little bit, because I feel like that's a bit of reachism there if you think that Eric Bischoff's going to sit there and be involved right now with WWE. Keyshawn saying Cameron Grimes, he very much could be involved in the draft, and I don't know if he's in the next 4, but I could very much see him being involved in the draft tonight. Because keep in mind, folks, we're still not even out of the first hour here. Sorry. Hello. How you doing?
Hello. Welcome. Wait, no, thank you for having me. Either way.
Huh?
It was a good break, apparently. But yeah, we're getting Brock and
Boston Gamer here. I hope I'm saying this right, because we've got Walker, Texas Brock still showing up here.
Walker, Texas Brock.
This man, just because he beat The Undertaker, feels like he can dress up like him now. Yeah, that's how you know you're a heel right now in WWE, especially on Monday Night Raw, is you show up in a duster and a cowboy hat.
Does Mickey James know he took her outfit?
That's going to be the new faction: Mickey James, Trish Stratus, and Brock Lesnar.
And Trish.
Yeah, well, no, I was saying Trish, Mickey, and Brock, and then just come out,
Right.
and Jeff Jarrett, and then just come out to
And
"Want to
Jeff
Be
Jarrett.
a Cowboy, Baby."
And Jeff Jarrett round out the crew because we don't see him enough on TV.
But sorry, I feel like I stomped over a question or a point you had there.
No, I don't know. LA Knight.
Well, so Boston Gamer there saying,
yes,
about potentially Brock or Karrion Kross actually going to Monday Night Raw. Well, again, he's got the feud kind of kicking off with Shinsuke, so I feel like that's again another kind of layup.
It's a high possibility, in my humble opinion. I mean, you got to. I mean, they've planted seeds, like you said, so why not?
Right.
So, did we get new women's tag champions, or was that just what?
I don't know.
Like I think Dale said yes.
Right,
but Raquel and Liv, the champions, just lost, correct?
Yes, but that's very much been a thing, unfortunately, to where like the champion will lose to then set up a match for the titles, to which they'll unnecessarily win. Do they come out to Keith Urban or Toby Keith? They come out to Kid Rock Cowboy. Scott saying King Booker. Yes. King Booker. With the first pick of the second round.
Oh, and the most deserving Hall of Famer in the history of Hall of Famers.
Monday Night Raw selects.
I can't wait for the Hall of Fame to come to Toronto so I can get into the Hall of Fame.
Well, I was going to say, Monday Night Raw selects Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So this could work the other way of, I know where you were on your pause for the cause.
They went to Smackdown. Who would be
the next 4 picks here?
Oh, sorry, that's Raw's pick.
Yes!
What?
The bloodline stays intact. If they
teased it, they went back to back.
Smellness, but the bloodline stays intact, and they went, granted, the opposite way of I thought they could have gone. But so Monday Night Raw selected the tag team champions of KO and Sami Zayn, and SmackDown selected the Usos. And Monday Night Raw selects the rest of the Judgment Day.
Oh, everybody.
So we don't get them splitting up either. What the fuck?
Everyone's staying together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. See, and I tried to do something similar and got told I couldn't.
But you ended up doing it with the Usos. I let you have it.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. I get it. But it's interesting of that there's no Damian Priest is drafted here and Finn's here drafted here. None of that.
LWO!
So we got the division now finally between Dominic Mysterious and Ronald Mysterious of the brand split. So all of the LWO. So we got the LWO to feud with the OC, to feud with Skid Row. We've got them to feud with the Bloodline. So again, how many people has
what
SmackDown drafted to Monday Night Raw?
So wait. Oh, so Ray's officially he's a dude in the LWO. Okay.
I'm a dude. She's a dude. We're a dude. We're all dudes. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking when he said that.
That's fine. I've spoken into fruition. Probably not for the best results.
All right. So there's your updated chart for the night.
Again, backwards.
What?
Rhea, Seth, Usos
shit,
went
they
to
are.
SmackDown, Judgment Day. 3 out of the 4 of those went to Monday Night Raw. The other 3 went to SmackDown.
All right,
I've got the O'Shea brothers coming out right now. How does this draft work? Says Mega.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Knows. It's like whose line is it? Whose line is that anyway? The pools are made up, and the picks don't matter anyways. LWO versus Bloodline. I could see it. Told you the Judgment Day stays in WWE Raw. Well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. I very much could have seen it getting split up, get it divvied up. Except I said Rey Mysterio, not the LWO. Fair enough.
How funny is that? I didn't think they'd all get drafted together.
Yeah, I feel like we need to redo our draft here. If we're going to draft like 7 people as one here.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Well, and neither one of us picked the LWO, but to where they drafted Escobar. Did they draft Zelina as well? That'll be interesting to see. I didn't pay attention to that detail on the graphic, but because then Rhea's literally the only woman in a title match at Backlash that's not on SmackDown.
Interesting.
Small Mark says Dawn has to find a new mommy. No, they stayed together on the same channel.
They are, yeah. Ignore my original graphic.
There we go.
There we go. This makes more sense.
Right. So we've got Theory, Charlotte, the Usos, and the Luo going to Friday Night SmackDown. And we've got Rhea, Seth, the undisputed Universal Tag Team Champions, KO and Sammy, and the rest of the Judgment Day going to Monday Night Raw. So realistically, we had the Judgment Day, KO and Sammy, and Seth drafted. Like, first pick could have been the 4th pick.
Yeah. Does anyone else feel the way I feel in the sense of they could kayfabe this up a little so it's not like KO and Sammy, Usos, Judgment Day, LWO, like Charlotte, Rhea, like there's a pattern. We said this on Friday, the same thing, right? Like the ladies, then the NXT, then like
right.
We can like kayfabe this up a little. Like Theory could go where the LWO is. Usos could have went earlier.
This all becomes because you spread it out over 2 days. Of this is now the 2nd round of day 2.
Yeah, right. And I really think the Usos should have been the absolute last pick of the draft tonight.
That would have been so compelling. That's why I popped a bit when they did it, because I'm like, you really gave away your biggest thing. Of you could have sat there and sold it to where they were the last thing, and you got the bloodline, you got Heyman sweating it out, you got Jimmy and Jay of like,
dude,
goddamn,
you have the main event tonight, and
versus Seth.
Yeah. And Jimmy's in a match tonight, so you had an opportunity there to drag it out, and then maybe near the end of the night, maybe it's even Paul Heyman that is the one who tells everybody, oh, by the way, the last pick of the draft tonight to SmackDown, the Usos. That's the way I would have done it.
Yeah, and they sit there and they get to breathe a sigh of relief. But then again, does that not feel a bit like a popcorn fart? Of like, what do you do that sends the people home happy? Like, do they get their ass beat, or like you do that and then you announce that Sammy and KO have been drafted to Monday Night Raw, and Sammy and KO show up and they just beat the shit out of the Usos one last time before they go off to a different brand?
I don't know, because I think, like even with like, so Jimmy has his match. I don't know. Paul could always sell it. I mean, even if they announced it like the other ones did, and they were one of the last ones, Paul could even look at Jimmy and Jay and say, like, you're lucky you got drafted to SmackDown the way you guys have been performing.
But could now Heyman just do this for most of the show and then
for the rest,
pay off in what could be the main event of Solo and Seth? I'm not saying I might say anything, but Bash saying, isn't this technically the 4th day of the draft? Allegedly.
Kind of.
The vitamins help you not keep track, I guess. Bro saying X Division is there. Take the money in the bank. What? Oh, the money in the bank. Fair enough. Raquel and Liv drafted next along with Rick O'Braun.
Rick O'Braun.
They get drafted, or I might be wrong here. But I know Boston was saying he was talking about kind of setting up like a light heavyweight and X Division type version.
I wish
like Monday Night Raw or something.
You have 3 hours. You can really do shit like that. And if they did 205 properly, they had so much talent in 205. But the problem with WWE is they forever run the cruiserweights or the light division, and it's just little guys wrestling just like the big guys instead of letting them go loose. Like, go. and let them go crazy.
Absolutely. Just show up and show out because that's what the show is about. But it's going to be interesting because I feel like every time that I think Monday Night Raw is drafting and going to go in that way of, hey, we've got 3 hours, might as well use our time here. It seems like SmackDown turns around and picks the guys that could actually do that.
Right. Who's wrestling? Right now we got the O'Shea brothers, Ricochet and Braun, going up against the Alpha Academy.
Yeah, we got Chad Gable and Otis versus Rick O'Shea and Brawny the Strowman.
Who you taking?
I gotta go with the O'Shea brothers. I feel. Well, then again, no, you go first. You get first dibs here.
I'll go O'Shea
brothers. I coined Otis and I got the O'Shea brothers. So
right, I'm feeling the luck of the Irish here. The only thing good about the Alpha Academy is Maxine at ringside. Damn.
Well, the only why I kind of want to go with you, and maybe hopefully Braun doesn't just yeet Ricochet off into the abyss here into taking a bad botchy spot. As we've got the Strowman Express versus the Otis Bulldozer, but I could see Alpha Academy loses, and that's where Otis kind of snaps and becomes his super diva persona here.
Chucky Ducky.
Quack, quack.
Two big boys slapping beef.
All right.
Shitty looking punches.
The NXT version of Alpha Academy. Damn, they were good. Yes, they were. What about the women? Someone please think of the children.
Right. I don't mind pushing Alpha Academy a little bit because Braun with a cross body. Let's go.
I've got Ricochet going for the dun, 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 off of Brawny's shoulders here.
How do you feel about them building up these guys?
1, 2, 3.
Hey? How do you feel about these guys getting built up after watching this win?
They work as a tag team. It's so fucking weird. And I swear to God, if they ever come out with O'Shea Brothers gear or fucking Twins gear, we
off the fucking
some royalties.
Right?
Oh, good old cross-eyed Shawn Michaels. Cross-eyed cowboy himself.
Why do you got to pick on the cross-eyed cowboy?
Because
because
no truer words have been said.
I'm down. I'm okay with it.
But I've got Adam Pearce coming out right next, but I'm going to take a pause for the cause.
Absolutely, folks. We are on a commercial break. We got Adam Pearce as we just went off as I was playing around with my shit. But we are live, so thank you for being here tonight on a Monday. Don't forget, we are back tomorrow for NXT, heading all the way through Dynamite's crazy stack card, including Moxley and Omega in a cage. We'll see what all that brings forward. But we are here all week long. We will not stop. Heading right into Backlash in Puerto Rico this Saturday. Live again. You know our Saturday streams are always something else. Right now I'm getting an A&E commercial for the WWE. Folks, keep this chat live. And if you are new here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Be a part of the family. We are your watch-along. We are your watch party. We are your alternative commentary to all the wrestling. And the chat is live tonight. I love seeing it. What's up, Jake? How you doing? How you doing? I hope you are well. I think we got this one, but I missed the NXT version of Alpha Academy. They were good. American Alpha were outstanding. Yeah, they really were. You skipped past my chat. Omega, there's a lot of them, so we might miss some. If you want to make sure we don't miss your chat, do not forget, we do have the super chat. Feel free to stand out. Make sure you get clicked by hitting the super chat. Any women wrestling matches? Heather, we had All Control Delete, Damage Control, also known as. They won against the Raw Women's Champions, or the Women's Tag Team Champions. I don't know why I said Raw. It's interesting, folks. I mean, I don't know. I guess it was a non-title match? Love Roman, love Rhea. Good choices. No, she just looked extremely shocked. Otis took the L. Otis did take the L. Does that mean he's in trouble? How's Maxine going to feel about it? Braun Breaker going to SmackDown, Cross to Raw. Braun and Ricochet to SmackDown, and Trish to Raw. Are they going to draft Trish? I'll be surprised if they draft Trish. But the rest of that, Braun Ricochet to SmackDown makes sense. I'm good with that. Cross to Raw. Yeah, okay. It gives Cross a really good chance. Gives Cross a really good chance to stand out. Who else did you say? No, we're good with that. Who else? We got KJ, you and Nick versus Sammy and Owens on WWE 2K23. I will create you guys. I'm down. Let's go. We're here to fuck some shit up. All right, what did Mega say? Let me see if I can find Mega. Chaos Theory Suplex. Oh my God, you guys are the older version of Sammy and KO. I like it. I like it, even though like we're not that much older than Sammy and KO, to be honest. Hilarious. Oh, look, there you go. There you go. This draft is bad as the Brawl for All. No, Mega. This draft is okay. Brawl for All was an absolute dumpster fire. Even as a kid, as a young wrestling fan, the Brawl for All was a fucking shit show. No, I don't think it's that bad. Brawl for All is in a special class of holy shit. That was real bad. I'll draft Cable to SmackDown and keep Otis to Raw. So Gable, you split them up? Maybe. We've been teasing and flirting around with this OTs, Maxine and the Maximum Male Models. I think Pretty Deadly should get drafted and become the Maximum Male Models, even with OTs. Maybe all three of them. They'll just be a heel team. I think they just may. Interesting. Bobby, we'll give you an update soon, but off the top of my head, Seth got drafted. Rhea got drafted to... distracted by Damian Priest. I'm a bad guy. I like that we're getting a solo promo for Priest. Like, here's a guy that if you end up doing a tournament for the world title or some type of elimination or something, he really could be involved. He doesn't have to win it, but it'd be involved just to kind of build his aura. Now, on the opposite side of that, he is going to face Bad Bunny in a street fight, and he might actually lose. Otis and Gable, not tonight. Love Damian. Hey, nobody in the world's getting as much heat as Damian right now, so that's a tough one. Hey, welcome to the club. We only adopt the good ones, Nick, so consider yourself. You're in a good class. Like Brock Lesnar is one of them. You know, just come on over. Brock loves it here. We'll go up to Saskatoon, hunt some caribou. I don't even know if there's fucking caribou in Saskatoon. I'm out. Later, JV. Have a good one. Dun, dun. Nothing is... Yeah, there you go, Trevor. Trevor's with me on this one. What are we doing? That's a tough shout. It really is. So, Priest is great. I agree, man. When he was the Archer of Infamy, and he was kind of doing that with NXT, and then kind of, like, I thought the visual was good, like the bow and arrow and the flames. I was really surprised they got away from it. Now, okay, you pull him into Judgment Day. I hope they find their way back to that for Damian Priest. I think, like last week when he came out and he was in a suit, man, the guy looks like a fucking stud. He looks like an absolute star. And I would be all for keep putting a shine on him. Keep putting a shine on him. He has the potential to take on those top guys. Like, I think Damian and Seth would tear the house down. I keep going back to Seth. Like, everybody has to fight Seth. But there's a lot of guys that Damian would do extremely well against. Here comes Shawnee Michaels. He thinks he's cute. Or he used to be. Heather just with all the love. What about Jimmy? What about Jimmy, Heather? Send him home on a huge pop. I like it. Brawl for All, Russo's greatest invention. You don't believe me? As Russo. We could. From UK here, bros. I appreciate it. It's late for you. Check it out. There's always some UK presence in this chat, so I'm sure there is. Moxley versus Kenny Omega is not this Wednesday on Dynamite. The Steel Cage match is next. There you go. Okay. So I'm getting greedy. I'm trying to push it up already. Trying to keep track. But yeah, tonight's still. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before the picks are made. Dun, dun. Wyatt Lesnar is in the house. Or should we go with Brock Earp? Brock. The Beast Agent. I like that. I like that. I like that, right, Nick? Now we finally get some spontaneity to the show. And, it's not so clean and well put together. We're getting some wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here. I like it. And Brock is no longer the smiley guy we remember. Walker, Texas Lesnar. Dun, dun. Walker, Texas Beast in the building. Keep throwing those nicknames out, folks. We love them. Okay. Still no love for Jimmy, though. Hopefully Brock takes out Doofus Pierce. I like Pierce. Don't pick on Pierce. He's a good guy. He's doing a good job. If you're doing a brand split, I don't want to see Pierce on both shows. I don't. I think whatever show Pierce is on, the other show needs their own person. This is my take on it. But if you are tuning in at home, Brock Lesnar, trench coat, cowboy hat, jeans and boots, a lipper in. And he's given, all right. How does it feel to be looking at the only real cowboy here? Imagine he said that in Texas. Oh, we got security. Pierce not having any of it. Speaking of a doofus decision. Woo. Uh-oh. Brock laughing. I like Brock Lesnar as a bad guy more than a good guy. Historically, yeah, I agree. But I thought Brock going babyface kind of rejuvenated his career, kind of made him feel more into it. And when he was dancing around and laughing and cracking jokes at Roman, oh shit, they got more. Oh, this is just silly. Really? Some of these people are 10 pounds. Cody, come up from behind him. That's how I do this. Cody should just slide in the ring. Get it going. Let's go. Think of the babyface pop. Oh, we got Gotti. Now, why would you come? You better not come down that aisle way. You already know it's busy. He's not coming. Back door. There it is. Nice. Where's fucking Wardlow when we need him? Velveteen. They had a really good rivalry. Velveteen has got himself in some trouble, so the likelihood that we're ever going to see Velveteen Dream again is very slim. The only real cowboy, Brock the Rock Johnson. All right, so they're holding Cody back, but Cody got the jump on him. I like it. Wyatt Earp Lesnar. Same wavelength, Mark. I like it. Yeah. Some of the smallest security guards I've ever seen in my life. They're all in trouble. Apparently not tonight. Cody beat the shit out of 20 of them last week, so I guess he hit his quota for the month. It's a new month. What are we doing? Let's go, Cody. Big Show's best comic heel ever. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about ever. That's an interesting debate. Comic heel. What about Regal? I really do like Regal in that role. Big Show's all right. Okay. Cody doesn't need to brawl. I think they're just trying to show that Cody's not afraid of the beast, that he's taking the beast head on, right? He's trying to be the hero in the story. To go back to that analogy, he doesn't need to brawl so much, but he does have to show that, you know, he wants vengeance, he wants revenge, that there's heat, there's some type of, you know, issue between these guys. And I like it. I thought it was
he's Kevin McAllister. Did you hear me? I'm not afraid of you anymore.
I'm not afraid of you anymore.
You got to the count of 3 to get your no good Dusty Rhodes keister off my yard.
Right.
1, 2, Suplex City.
So I guess you caught some of that, but the music.
I caught bits and pieces of it there.
I think we said record for number of security guards.
Well, there was one up here of the alpha male of our species, Brocker Lesnar Ranger.
Right. The alpha of our species.
Yeah, he is the apex of I feel like when it comes to being a human being. That is, I don't care. Brock Lesnar is the one human being that if he's smiling and joking with you, you're almost more scared than if he's like pissed off at you.
Mm-hmm. The Saskatchewan Express leaves in 5. I like it.
Well, does that according to the metric system or
right? TikTok. Uh-oh.
TikTok.
Now for the WWE draft. Yeah, back to that. How do you feel like they finally did something kind of spontaneous and different?
Yeah, but imagine if this was a one-night event combined. That's the thing, is these are great segments, but if you put them together, be a great goddamn show, because you could lose a lot of the fluff and stuff.
Fluff and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of fluff.
Wait, was it like anyone up for a fluffer nuffer?
Yeah, no, let's not and say we did.
That was the best shit ever.
As I, the New Englander, Hachu, had to sit there and explain to y'all what it was, and just like it's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the mass holes going.
I caught shit from a few people who were like, "You didn't know that?" I was like, "No."
You're Canadian.
I've never thought
getting denied even to come to the state of Florida for the Leafs Panthers games I've seen. You muted yourself. This man's so upset about this, you couldn't even say it.
I'm upset. No, tomorrow's going to be fun. I mean, we're going to be here for NXT. I'm probably going to have the Leaf game off in the background as well. So, yeah, good times.
Yeah, but I'm a cowboy. They missed a huge opportunity there for Brock Lesnar to suplex 648 jobbers. Yeah. Well,
he kicked the hat.
What is it with the cowboy duster gimmicky in professional wrestling right now? You have Trish, you have Brock, you have Hangman, you have Jeff Jarrett. Like, you can literally 1, little 2, little 3, little cowboy, 4, little 5, little 6, little cowboy.
But do you think this is like a nod to like he's trying to be funny, like the old Dusty, when Dusty would come up with the black hat?
I don't know, because we've got cowboy we've got fucking
there's Cowboy Michaels
out here. Cross-eyed cowboy himself, Shawn Michaels, out here.
They're in Texas.
At least he's got the cue card upright. At least he's not pulling the full Rob Van Dam. Monday Night Raw has drafted Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez,
who just lost.
Right to
that team that just jobbed. We take them.
Yeah, they have belts, so we take them. Oh, taking the place of Adam Pearce will be me, HBK. Smackdown selects Asuka. Let's go.
What happened, Dirt Sheets? What happened, Dirt Sheets? Oh, no, they're still here.
Oh, yeah, they're much like with Drew, but still, like that women's division, you got Bianca, you got Asuka. Christ, now I'm already blanking on who they already drafted. Well, you drafted Charlotte Flair earlier tonight. Yeah. I know that. The New Day Oh, Wrasslin for Life Universe. Don't you dare be sour.
Really?
Clap for your new Raw draftees. The New Day. And what happened to the rumors that we heard Big E was going to be here and everything like that?
Interesting.
And I'm not trying to force that, but he couldn't have made that announcement.
So Raw took the New Day? Yes. Who did? Okay.
Smackdown picked up the Brawling Brutes, so
that's a good pickup.
Smackdown did what you did and took Sheamus and the Brutes together.
What was the last pick by SmackDown? Remind me.
It was just that one. It was Sheamus and
the one before that, though. After Liv
before
and
that was Asuka. So Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, are going to Monday Night Raw. The New Day are going to Monday Night Raw, and Asuka and the Brawling Brutes are going to Friday Night SmackDown.
That's Friday, really. Friday, they're doing what you did. They're stacking up the ladies division.
Yeah. It's you build with that star power.
But you'd almost think the longer show would try and build up on the women's division. You have more time to present it, but apparently I've got Matt Riddle out here. I don't know if it's because of the swimsuity outfit type thing that he wears and everything, but this man always looks like he's sweaty. For the record, I'm pretty sure I'd be just like KO in this moment with this guy.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, by the way, I heard that we were compared to KO and Sami Zayn of A, when did I become Canadian, B, from Quebecois, and C, ginger. When did I start growing red hair?
You're just evolving by the minute here, sir.
Man of 1,000 gimmicks and 1,000 faces.
There you go. So coming out to the ring is Riddle and your World Tag Team Undisputed Champions, whatever you want to call them. Sami KO at his side. So I'm expecting the bloodline in full effect.
Bro, potentially. Well, now that we've gotten them fully drafted to SmackDown, which again, I think you nailed it on the head of, that should have been a last minute selection. That should have been something that hung over the show.
Because then you could have had a couple segments in the back with Paul and the Usos where it was like, yo, Paul, what's going on? Like, why haven't our name been called yet?
See money with my dissension smellness.
Right. So how do you feel about the last round of picks before this next match starts?
I feel like they were a little bit of gimmies / like the first two were gimmies a bit. The last two surprised me. Like, I'm surprised that Judgment Day stayed together. I'm surprised that LWO got drafted as a whole. I'm surprised we didn't hang around with Usos, but the last four really surprised me of that. That's where they went with it. Of theoretically, we've only got 2 more picks per show left for tonight, unless because of the 3 hours that we're extending it.
Right. But yeah, I mean, this round's kind of like, I think there was more exciting names out there, and there hasn't been not a lot of sizzle. That's all.
Right. This very much feels like when you tune into like the second or third day for the NFL draft.
Right.
Who's still left that can go?
Right.
You're not seeing a surprising name that could still go would be Bray Wyatt. That's going to be the thing, is who's left of surprising names that could still go. If we had to do our top 3, top 5 best available, of who would you say could still go? And fuck the pools, we'll just go off the top.
Bray would be a nice surprise. LA Knight would be nice. I'd pop for LA.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton would blow my mind. That'd be real cool.
That would be a sign that he's close to coming back, I feel.
Yeah. But I think maybe more likely, I think a Braun Breaker or Carmelo. There has to be something, right? Like, and I feel like they're going in the same pattern they went on Friday, where now we're going to get NXT person, back to back in the last.
Well, we could see that, but we've got Jimmy and Matt Riddle right now going on. So give us your predictions if you haven't done so already. But Heather saying, what's up with my girl Saraya? She's out there with her and Ruby Soho and Tony Storm doing their best Joker from the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batman movie there of all that's missing is Party Man. The Prince song there when there's just spray painting images and everything.
Didn't play the Bat song once.
Yeah.
But folks, we got Jimmy versus Riddle. If you want to get a prediction in, let us know who you're taking. If you're new here and you're shy, you can put an R for Riddle. You can put a J for Jimmy. But right now, KO and Jay are arguing.
We're doing the Eddie Guerrero sell spot here. We just heard the clapping noise of the chair, and Jay's been thrown out. Does this happen too much though? Like the few times it happens and it works. Granted, didn't it happen recently? And I think I lost on my mind about it. I think it was in AW with like Sammy and Darby.
Yeah. So I find that very interesting because we just got this spot on Dynamite. So to get it on Raw seems really interesting to me.
Right.
Second,
Guerrero effect.
It gets silly because if you were the ref, would you not just kick everybody out? All right, all 4 of you go.
Why would you y'all out of here?
Everybody, all y'all.
Right. That would make sense if you were booking this logically, but you got to build this for sports entertainment.
I didn't see him hit you with the chair, but you know what? You're all fucking around.
I heard the noise, so somebody was doing something. So I don't care who did it. Y'all getting out of here.
I don't want to deal with this shit. I'm trying to work.
Right. Dale got Riddle for the win. Heather, I'm assuming, taking Riddle for the win. Small Mark saying Jimmy needs to win. Bro family, of course, sticking with Bro. Heather
based on
the win. Larry saying the Guerrero effect. Yes.
Right. Based on what just happened, I think Jimmy's going to steal a win here. Give us a little bloodline hope.
Well, Boston taking Jimmy. Megan taking R for Are You Ready?
Are you ready?
Bro, says Trevor. This one's for you, Eddie. I feel like I'm kind of with you, though, if this is where you get that roll up, that surprise, because you've still got to build towards Backlash.
Right.
You still got to sell the 6-man. If Jay's getting tossed out now, so you're going to expect that the baby faces will have an advantage for the good portion of it. And then it'll be the heels sneakily cheat to win. And that's, we carry on and move on.
Yeah, I mean, you do. I mean, the Bloodline have been on a downward spiral. We've seen them lose a couple times or have some issues. They might need a W now. And that's leading into Friday, where who knows what's going to happen Friday, the night before the big match.
Well, we'll be in Puerto Rico.
San Juan.
Where did Raquel and Liv go in the draft? They just went in the last round.
Yeah.
To Monday Night Raw, Mago, as we are in commercial break, or at least I am right now.
Do you find it really funny? I almost cursed. See, I stopped myself. I can't do it.
I could hear
it.
What's up, buddy?
Buddy, for bro. Do you find it funny that you send out your tag champs and they eat an L and then get drafted to a different show than the people that just beat them?
A lot of this has been really funny. That's the thing. It's literally as much as I don't know if they could really pull off how like the NFL does, even if it was a night one of how they sat there and they make a big event of no matter who you are, no matter whether your team's picking first or 25th or what have you, you turn into the NFL draft night one. If they did that with the WWE draft, you made it a primetime event, you made it a premium live event of, I don't even give a shit if you have 1, 2, 3 matches on it, if you even have any, and you just make it a whole draft event of you go back to where you get reactions of people getting drafted in the green room and everything. Yeah. You go back to where wrestlers have to cut promos after they were just drafted.
Yeah.
Even shout out Claudio with his famous one. But you go back to stuff like that. And that's to me where this feels special, and this feels a lot bigger than what it does now.
It's just very low key for what it could be. It's like, and we hype it up like, oh, this is like, we're amped for it. And I'm glad. I like the shuffle. I like the picks. I like us all guessing at who's going where. But I kind of want them to put a little more, that kind of feel behind it. Like, we're all jazzed as the fan base. Hit
Yeah,
us with
because
a
everyone does the GM mode of they sit there and draft their own rosters
Yeah.
and everything like that, but they do it all. It's consensus off of certain picks and everything like that. It's not
Right.
one of those of like, well, you get so and so to pick from, and then you get another draft 2 days later if you get to pick from here.
Solo will probably come out, and Jay will probably make his way back out. Yeah, I got a feeling.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like the now that you said it, of the heels kind of got to go over here. Of we set up still towards Backlash. Granted, Riddle's been kind of
knees
taking
up.
some L's.
Are you surprised about the New Day? Kind of like, to me, I was surprised they were involved in the draft. Like, to me, they're, Kofi's been on the shelf. They're we signed them as a free agent a couple weeks from now, a month from now, whatever.
I don't think so, because theoretically, you can, if and when Big E's healthy, you can backslide into that. Of you add Big E onto the roster because he's part of the New Day. Super kick from
Jimmy just laid out KO without mercy.
I got a 2 count from Jimmy on Riddle. I don't know if I'm ahead or behind you.
Larry, please, double J to WWE. Can we also have Christian back?
We'll start doing trades amongst brands and everything like that.
I would be so into that. Right? Tony call up Trips and be like, listen, you're not.
What do you trade for MJF? What's the trade capital you have to trade for MJF?
I think MJF almost becomes one of those, like, he's a franchise player.
He's franchise tagged. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't offer him unless Tony Khan can try and match or outdo that offer.
Yeah, or like, yeah, if you want to take the story even further, fine. You're up against it. You can't sign him. He doesn't want to sign back in 2014. He's holding you. Yeah, then you look to dish him for a fucking boatload of what? Money and talent?
Oh, V-Trigger. I've just got a V-Trigger from Matt Riddle.
I hate that you call it V-Trigger.
Float over, bro. Tell me it's not that.
It's 100.
As Matt Riddle picks up the win. We're all wrong.
So the good guys cheated twice for a win. All right. So they're really fucking burying like this idea that the bloodline's fucking up. Like,
yeah, well, they've got that's going to be your story selling SmackDown.
So here's my call then. We go into Puerto Rico and it's like they're told this is your last chance to get it right. And let's say they get it wrong and Solo instantly turns on them at the behest of, and maybe Roman shows up in Puerto Rico. That'd be nice. He doesn't wrestle, but he shows up.
But so, well, you've talked about it of you've got X amount of time before you even get to, say, a SummerSlam, before you get to a Survivor Series, before you get to a WrestleMania. Yeah. Do you shoot your shot now?
You got a point.
Do you let that simmer?
Yeah, I think the only reason I think like, okay, fine, the turn's coming is because how much further can you bury them? Like, so we go to Puerto Rico this week. They're probably, I can't imagine they win the 6-man tag.
But see, I don't think you bury them. I think you do that and then you have them go like this. Maybe they win the 6-man tag at Backlash. And then now you have to crown a new SmackDown tag team champion because say we split the belts entirely of each brand. We're sticking to the brand splits. Each brand has their own championship. So then you build them up through a tournament for the tag team titles. So you build them back up. And then you start to go back into slow playing that dissension.
Oh, shit.
Yo!
Guy. Such a huge fan of this lady.
Trevor, what up? Major backfire for Jay Riddle wins. Absolutely. Well, and was she not somebody that once she won the NXT championship that you felt like should have gotten called up of? She should have been up there of rather than doing Asuka and Kyrie as a tag team, you should have just stayed with the Sky Pirates there of Io and Kyrie. And you just make that a faction, I think.
That's a good point here. Like MJF would be garbage in the WWE. He would never be allowed to do what he. It's a valid argument. It's a valid argument.
It's valid, but TV 14, you could go that route.
Could he?
If it's going to draw ratings, if Fox is going to say no.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I think he could still be as arrogant and it just, yeah, I get what you're saying. It loses a bit of the luster when he can't be
My God.
adult.
Hell has officially frozen over.
He's back.
That is 100% why it's been cold out lately, why you've had to have your heat on lately. Anything like that. Hell has frozen over. Eric Bischoff and they played into it. RVD out here sitting there and he pulls it from upside down and pulls it right side.
I'm back.
It's going to be RVD and Eric Bischoff. We couldn't find anybody else. We ran out of celebrities.
Oh my God. Tell me this wouldn't be the best fucking team with a manager ever. Elias Boogs with RVD as the manager.
They just show up in a Volkswagen van that just every time they open the door, just fucking cloud of smoke files out.
Right?
The Doobie Brothers.
I like it.
Easy E is next. Yes. Unfortunately. MJF is garbage. Other than his promos, his in-ring skills are less than average. Steve, I strongly disagree. Because that's the thing, is the man does simple shit and makes it work and sells it and makes it effective. Not everybody needs to do dun 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 dun.
Oh, no, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And we all know how much Nick loves him. So in a slightly less biased opinion, he's fucking awesome. So no, he's had banger matches.
I don't have, the better than you button up or the Burberry scarf.
Right.
No. I wasn't out here eating pickles the next day after he's up there after Revolution. Oh, this is a fucking good pickle.
I would have died if you did, though.
I literally was eating pickles while you were doing your
listen, man, MJF gets that rap. The thing is, MJF, I feel because he's a younger superstar, he should be wrestling more than he does. As champion, I understand why they backed it off a little, but there are a lot of people that haven't been exposed to a lot of him. He hasn't exactly got to.
But that's what makes him feel like a big deal talent.
Sometimes, and I agree with you. When he steps in the ring, I mean, what he did with Brian was outstanding.
What he did with Darby, what he did with
Darby,
yeah. That's the thing, is he has had 5-star match after 5-star match, fucking despite whatever Meltzer wants to say. And I like it. I'm going to out here and sound like I'm the advocate for this man.
But that's where sorry, Nick, but when someone says like he'd be garbage in WWE, I'd be like, he might get more of a good, solid storyline. So he might not have, and if you're good, you don't need the over the top. You can back off of the low hanging fruit. He could still be really conniving, really mean, deliver a stellar promo within that guide, and have a better story arc to him.
You're telling me he couldn't cut a promo like how Roman cuts a promo or how Heyman cuts a promo?
Yeah, kind of, right?
Or anything like that.
But people are assuming he has to say, like, you fucking Mark. And
everybody goes into the Vince algorithm with it and everything, or feels like he, like you said, he has to go so much with like the AW aspect with it of, no, he can do what works within that realm. And I think he honestly, with it being the sports entertainment-y aspect, might end up being even a bigger star. MJF is the Miz, like CM Punk said. No.
That's rough. It's rough.
And false. MJF versus the Miz, dream match of mine. Oh,
whose dream?
Off.
Oh, of yours. Okay, no.
Yeah, wake up from that nightmare. Brock Lesnar is a free agent, by the way. We had that announced. I feel like we got a halfway call that. We're back from commercial. Brock Lesnar, thanks to maybe allegedly his advocate, Paul Heyman, is a free agent.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I want to say to this MJF comment, I really, really believe that MJF is a next level talent when it comes to wrestling. I don't know if MJF is the best thing going right now, and maybe not because of his fault, but I feel like he's come down a notch.
Has been the issue. Oh, as Heyman's hyping up Solo, and then Jay barges in and he's showing up to like hype up Solo when it's coming off of like we don't need you right now. Like,
Oh my God. Why wasn't he at ringside? Wow, the dissension has begun. It gets deeper and deeper.
You could cut this tension with a cleaver.
Him being allowed to do a giant piece of shit, which makes him so good. I'd be worried that yeah, I mean, again, can you play within the bumpers, right? That's a tough one. It definitely takes an edge off him.
I'm trying to read. Who are we talking about again? Vitamins, sorry.
I'm trying to read.
Right. I guess, garbage when compared. All right, moving on. I can't remember who we're talking about.
So he's just saying MJF.
Said, to MJF, he was a cheaper version of Miz. True. That doesn't mean it's accurate.
There you go.
Why?
What? They would have a great promo battles against one another. I guess. I mean, the Miz to me comes off kind of flat, right? Like kind of
Miz lost a promo battle to Daniel Bryan. You put him in there with a fucking Great White and MJF. MJF and CM Punk was a sparring session of a promo off. You put him in there with Miz, you're expecting somebody to get eaten alive.
An underrated entrance song, by the way. I like it. Always did.
I've always had a weird little sweet spot pause for Eric Bischoff. In part, just because you always think of the
Did you say Elrod?
Elrod, yeah.
Yeah, what?
Elrod Justin. What? But you think of WCW, you think of Eric Bischoff, you think of somebody who's
another great theme.
RVD's theme is god tier.
They need to get more like Seth. Like you need more bangers that people want to hear.
No, they have it, but none of them are licensed. None of them are actual songs that you can go and download.
Yeah, son of a bitch. They gotta do better.
Well, you had Kane with Slow Chemical and everything like that. You have RVD with One of a Kind. Christ, you had Monday Night Raw with Unit Underground.
I love you too.
Trish Stratus, not Trish Stratus, has been drafted to Monday Night Raw.
See, that's a wasted draft pick for me.
Yeah, that's a flyer here of cool.
That's a wasted pick. Don't you think that's a wasted pick because of her status and being a part-timer, not really back?
I do, but not because of the thumbnail that they put up beside that, because that is a 10 on 10 double thumbs up there.
Okay, can we draft her?
Smackdown drafts Karrion Kross, so we can be done with Karrion Kross versus Nakamura.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm shocked with this one.
Kross going. Well, could you see Kross versus Roman?
Is it my imagination or the last little bit of the draft here? SmackDown just regained.
Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey drafted to Monday Night Raw. And why you gotta have them in that face paint and everything? They look like a fucking.
Why were you just walking around like that?
Doom, like fucking smash and crash out here. Demolition.
The demolition.
Right. The Legion of Booze out here.
Okay.
LA Knight coming to
SmackDown.
Baby.
Oh, he's already on SmackDown though. All right, that's good though. I'm popping.
LA Knight.
Now his music should hit and he should walk out and just cut a promo.
Absolutely, but you got LA Knight, you got Karrion Kross,
I fucking
Roman
dig it.
Reigns, you got the Usos on Friday Night SmackDown.
Well,
you got AJ Styles, you've got Edge, you've got Bobby Lashley. Friday Night SmackDown, baby, is looking to be where it's at.
Dude, I mean, it's interesting. It really is because you have some Ronda and Shayna switch over. I mean, the tag champs are on Raw. So you see that kind of destined to be. Trish, I think, you could have picked an NXT kid or another.
Yeah, Trish would have been a supplemental.
Yeah,
but
I think
no,
Trish
then you
just
play
shows
into the
up.
whole I'm not a side. Hey, she could have played into it. I'm not a sidekick. I'm not a last round pick. I'm a first round pick.
Well,
There you go.
do you kind of look at Trish as like an active roster or like just
No,
a fucking alum that's hanging around?
Angels will reach. Trish is a super reach.
Amen. Right?
Right.
RVD dissing LA Knight, the so-called superstar. Ah,
Oh,
yo, I
that's just
take
because
LA
he couldn't
Knight
remember his
RVD.
lines.
What?
He didn't flip the cue card upside down this time, so he couldn't remember his lines.
So LA
I'd
Knight,
rather get LA Knight to Raw. No, you get LA Knight
yeah.
versus Austin Theory. What?
No, but I wanted LA Knight to come over because I think he would have a better, like, it would be fun to watch LA Knight go after the world title, like the new
LA
world
Knight is
title.
the babyface versus Roman Reigns.
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
It could happen now. It could very much happen now.
it'd be fun. I'm down. And like you said, I mean, Theory, LA Knight should do well.
Right. Well, 2 words. Drowsy. That's one, but we'll count it as 2.
So Shinsuke's on Miz TV tonight.
Yes. Oh dear, Miz TV is on. Hopefully Knight feuds with Theory, Steve, like Steve said. I'm down for LA Knight versus Karen Cross. Hell yeah, sign me up. Well, now we've got,
That's a good one.
I guess, allegedly the end of Nakamura, versus Karen Cross.
Yo, they are starting to stockpile a nice, like, again, this entrance. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's the sing-along showdown on Monday Night Raw. And why does he come out here looking like fucking Darth Anakin Skywalker? Listen,
in a
Nakamura,
galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. The fucking Phantom Menace happened how many years ago? From a country far, far away known as Japan. Comes Shinsuke Nakamura.
SmackDown has the women's roster. Oh my god. Yeah, the SmackDown's loading up on the ladies there, bud. Kind of like what happened with us. So that's kind of funny.
Just a little bit.
Right? Because if Charlotte comes back and is active, you have Charlotte, Asuka already. We talked about having
Bianca. You've got Alba and Isla. You've got Damage Control. Yeah, 100%. That so roster is
now. Are we done with the draft for tonight now, or is there one more?
We've still got an hour plus. I don't think so. I think we've got to round out. I think we'll round out to the top 10 here.
They only did 8 on Friday, so we had this 8 on
Friday.
Friday.
But we got 3 hours on Monday Night Raw. Michael.
And that's why even with this, what just happened with Solo and shit, imagine all that happened and we didn't know where the Usos were going to be drafted.
Absolutely. They should have been and unless you can think of something that's going to top it or maybe draw eyes to another future story or whatever, you end Monday Night Raw tonight with, as we go off the air, the Usos have been drafted to Friday Night Smackdown. That's how you end that. After you have the dissension, the fallout from Seth, Cody, fucking Brock, Sammy and KO, the Usos, Solo, all the baby faces, all the heels, however you want to do it. You end it with the final image as you fade out is the Usos getting drafted to Friday Night Smackdown.
Yeah, I mean, at least drag it on to this point. Like, drag it late into the show.
Right.
For sure, right? Like, it should have, if there is one more round, it should have been the last pick of the entire draft, whatever it was. And then you do have that opportunity to have either, they have that awkward moment with Solo and Paul, and then they're looking at each other like, dude, we haven't even been drafted yet. What's going to happen? And it's that suspense. I think they could have done that a little bit better.
Right. Ooh, I love Nakamura, but Seth entrance kind of takes the piss out of it. Little bit. Sorry, but Raw is like NXT compared to SmackDown. Oh, shots fired.
Raw is like NXT compared to SmackDown. Oh, maybe. Nah.
I don't think the Raw is or the draft is over just yet. I don't think so.
Shouldn't be.
No, I'll take Naka's entrance over Seth. But no, more people sing along with Seth than Nakamura.
I just think Seth is more over than Nakamura at this point. But man, it would be really funny to see them have a match and confuse the fuck out of the fans.
He went away for a while, and I'm still getting thrown off by his fucking Anakin Skywalker fucking outfit here.
Okay.
Miz is out here trying to quote Japanese with Nakamura. Nakamura. So is this going to be the feud going forward as Miz versus Nakamura on Monday Night Raw?
Well, Miz is the gatekeeper. So yeah, Shinsuke's got to kick his head off before he goes on to an angle.
Yeah, he's got a Kinshasa. Now that you say that, Zodiac, it's almost like Seth took Shinsuke's gimmick and put his own twist on it. Yes.
Seth did that to a few people,
wears her drapes.
Right? Seth did that to a few people, Nick. He took the drip away from Johnny. Like,
yeah.
He took Sammy's dancing.
Absolutely.
Think about it, folks.
Seth
hijacking everything.
Right.
But doing it better. So fuck. What do you say?
Oh, Nakamura going after the Miz.
What is he saying? Where's Austin?
He said, sorry, no speak English. I don't know.
What?
Why? They need to do a fatal 4-way for this world heavyweight title at Night of Champions. Nakamura, Rhodes, Balor, and Seth. That match would be interesting. But again, how much do you keep putting Cody towards title matches? And then if he loses, everybody just boo earns about it.
No, I think, dude, I kind of want Brock to beat Cody at Backlash just to watch the Twitter just melt.
Just to watch everyone's faces.
Just watch Rome burn, right? Like,
right.
Fucking. Oh man.
Now, see, that's the thing, Master Wayne. Is some people just want to watch the world burn.
Right.
I saw this Omos carrying a jewel the size of a tangerine.
Now, I wonder what will happen here between Seth and Solo. Like, will this somehow play in? Holy shit.
Well, I was going to say, I've got Omos walking out right now.
That's a big man.
The almost most important free agent here.
He took Rhodes. He took Rhodes robe walking. All right.
But could you see Omos developing with being this whole free agent of he becomes the spot booked attraction of he shows up on here and there and everywhere of he shows up and just smashes for a minute. And even if he takes an L and then he takes an L and he disappears and he comes up and he smashes for a bit. If he does what they could have, should have, would have done with Paul White.
Yeah, I think it's funny because, again, I hate to bring it up, but a guy I respect is Mark Henry. Mark Henry was super pumped about Omos. So he knows more about wrestling than I ever will. So he's got to see something I don't. Again, it's all the way you bill him, right? So I still think him as the heavy and surrounded by, 2 or 3 other people with MVP works great. MVP is a godsend for Omos. That was a bit of a game changer, right? Because now this big giant has a mouthpiece. We'll see.
I think that's part of what led to him being a free agent. 100% of. I think I'm not discrediting Omos. I'm saying more of if you use him as a special attraction of you don't see often guys like The Undertaker, guys like MVP, guys like you said of Mark Henry that put their backing behind a guy unless they really see something. Mm-hmm. So if they built him as this special attraction, with MVP as the mouthpiece, it becomes a bit Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman-y, I feel a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And again, I think the problem is it's all in how you present Omos. And for so long, keep in mind, they believed in him early because he squashed AJ Styles. When he split from AJ Styles, remember how shocked we all were? Like, fuck, Omos just annihilated him. So, pardon me. That potential there, dude. So I think that, if he's going to come out and be in shitty matches with like a Brock, we're not going to get very far with him. But we'll see what Seth can bring out of the guy. He might surprise us. Imagine it's the banger of the night. Might change our viewpoint quick.
That's lofty expectations. That's high expectations.
Is it?
But,
shit.
yeah.
Try to be optimistic here.
No, and if you are right 100%, credit to you. But I think it could be one of those it gets into, even like we've talked about with other wrestlers and other promotions and everything, if you book them more as special attractions, as this man took a pause for the cause. But I will remind everybody, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. But if you do that as a special attraction, here, there, and when you need to, I think it'll work a lot better. But we're getting an advertisement right now, or at least I am, for NXT, as they're even mentioning a fair amount of the NXT roster has been called up so far, or at least drafted already to one of the two main shows. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially as we've still got about an hour and 10 minutes left in the Monday Night Raw, the draft night, round 2, night 2, Electric Boogaloo. And I don't know if we're going to get supplemental picks again on, like, Raw is Jericho or whatever fucking show they have after Monday Night Raw. But I'm getting Omos out here scheduled for a match. Who from main roster goes down to NXT? That's a good question. Do we see tomorrow night on NXT, do we see their version of a draft? Do we start to see certain people get drafted down of, well, JV says Ollie. Well, Ollie's a free agent. Dolph Ziggler's a free agent. I'm assuming Bobby Roode's a free agent since we might not see him till 2024. Corbin should go into NXT, says Steve. It'd be interesting to see if we do actually get that would be fantastic, really, if we're going to do and make this as a whole thing of you do it and then either the afterwards or the next night of NXT gets a supplemental draft of they get to pick through who's left. They might steal somebody, like, say, I'm trying to think of somebody who's not exactly drafted right now. We'll say if they take back, like, a Shotzi Blackheart or something like that, or an Italian Neidhart, because they haven't been drafted, which I think Natty might have been. But they take somebody like that, and that becomes their, like, kind of steal of draft. They managed to sneak in a Omos goes to NXT. Something like that would be great. JV, who are you? JV, you know who we are. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. As I got the gravelly voice now because I'm cutting too many promos, but we got Omos versus local enhancement talent right now, who looks like if Mustafa Ali and Paul Burchill had a child, I feel a little bit, mixed with some Trevor Grimes or Cameron Grimes. I don't know why I went Trevor. But Omos very much right now in control. Larry says Corbin needs his Wolfpack. Wolfpack is back, causing mass destruction. Larry says in NXT, Anthony Alanis Morissette. What?
How did we get to Alanis Morissette? What did I miss?
I don't know.
Canada? Isn't it ironic?
Right. Isn't it ironic that you show up to Alanis Morissette as Omos picks up the win?
Yeah. Dale, good guess.
Right. Yeah. With the stomp on the chest here.
I was putting my money on this guy.
Who you picking, Lakers or Warriors? I'm taking Lakers.
I'll take the Warriors just to piss you off.
I know you will. Well, I mean, Steph was cold in Game 7, but plus, I gotta go with LeBron.
Curry's like half Canadian. He's another one that we kind of adopted.
You motherfuckers.
Curry went to the high school.
I heard he likes maple syrup on his waffles, so he's half Canadian. That's what
because his dad's Steph.
What explains Steph Curry as being half Canadian?
Did I call his dad Steph? His dad's not also Steph.
His dad's Dell.
So. Yeah. He was here.
Curry?
Yeah. An OG of the Toronto Raps.
Oh, so because he played there. So
Well,
Kawhi
he played there,
Leonard's
so his kid had to go to
also
school and live
Canadian
here.
as
He lived
well.
here.
Tracy McGrady,
He might
Vince
count.
Carter.
No, we don't like Tracy. We got mad at Tracy.
Why? Because the googly eye like Seth or Sean. Sorry.
We need Omos for Strowman. Do we? Tree versus tree?
Right. King Kong versus Godzilla.
I mean, that
Kaiju
sounds more
versus
appealing.
Kaiju.
That might not be bad. Game-changing news.
What?
Oh, he's going back.
Going back.
Got
back
Warriors
to
win
Cali,
the series, Steve G. I'm with you, Dale. Just like Omos.
Well, yeah, that was hard to do.
Right? If Dale was right about Omos, come on.
76ers win. Well, Bonkers says Dana Brooke, Kira, Riddick Moss, Emma, Corbin, and to NXT. Well, it's already on Monday Night Raw.
True. Dolph, I don't know. He was there. I would be nice.
Dolph's a free agent.
Von Wagner
still hasn't been drafted.
Dana Brooke can go down. I think that's a good idea. Oh, we're getting the
that's the only time she's going to get TV time. So
I'll do it. Put it down there.
Pause.
Look, that's so pretty.
Do it. Put it down. Yeah, do it.
Do it. KJ got drafted to Earth 2. Oh, I like Earth. Maybe Earth 2 might be a little better than Earth 1 right now. I'm okay with that. Uh-oh.
Molly Holly.
Molly Holly. Molly go round? Short match for Omos. It should be, Bobby. Again, you're just building him up. What if he beats Seth?
God damn it. And then they pull out Road Dogg of ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. The Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White. I'm Big Nick, and I'm about to take a pause for the cause. Finally.
Where is Trish Stratus that's going to be drafted now? She was drafted to Raw. Oh, Road Dogg went down the wrong hallway. Folks, we are back in a commercial break. I thank everybody for spending part of your Monday night with us. Big Nick just on a pause for the cause. We are talking wrestling tonight. We got a little bit to go. We got some more draft picks coming up. We got another match coming up. Let us know what is on your wrestling mind. And remember, we are back tomorrow. NXT. We'll see what a new look NXT has to offer. We'll see what happens on some of these matches. Like we got the tag titles on the line. We assume the team that just got drafted is going to hand over those belts. But then Wednesday, we're back for Dynamite. Thursday, Impact. Friday, we got a doubleheader. No, we don't. Friday, we got Smackdown from San Juan. And then Saturday, we're back for Backlash. So a busy week on the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share if you want to show some love. And keep that chat coming, folks. We love it. We love it. We love it. I think Big E gets drafted tonight. Well, on the graphic, it was just Kofi and Xavier, correct? Correct. So maybe that'd be a big surprise. It'd be a good feel-good kind of thing. Can we trade away any WWE draft pick to any division now? I guess. I mean, they're kind of making the rules up as they go along, Kenneth. We'll find out. Scripps needs to get unscripted. Script just needs a better gimmick. If he's going to be a wrestler, I mean, that's my beef. Remember, if you guys have been watching, I quit NXT. I took a month off of NXT, and I kind of only went back out of necessity. But NXT has really good wrestling, and then it has some really fucking horrible shit. And like Scripps and Axiom. Like, what was wrong with him just being a kid? They turn him into a pseudo superhero. It's really kiddie. Then you got the bar rescue bullshit. And it's awful. It's not good stuff. So I think if they could continue to trend towards just, let's wrestle and do some good shit, we'd be a lot better. Does Zach Cardona get drafted? Zach Cardona. Matt, my buddy, I don't know. I highly doubt it. I think he's living the dream right now. I don't think he wants a boss. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Roxanne gets drafted. Interesting. I don't know. I'm a little worried about Roxanne getting drafted, but you could be right. I do like Roxy. She's just so young and so visibly, young that I don't know. Like Roxy versus Charlotte Flair visually, I struggle with that. Becky, maybe another one that like it looks like a woman beating up a teenage kid, and that's no offense to Roxy. She's awesome. She's up and coming. I just think she's maybe better suited for NXT at the moment. Wesley versus Drew Gulak is getting a North American Championship. Okay, that'll be good. They've been building this. Of course, Drew Gulak's an interesting cat. Again, kind of lacks a little bit of charisma, but that's kind of his gimmick at this point. Him getting a little bit of a rub and going for a belt it's been all right. Like he kind of went through some of that stuff with Chase U, and then of course with Seth Rogen, or Big Dan or Big whatever. You know who I'm talking about. Al Borland. Nick Molly Holly. Yes, Molly Holly. Seriously, the draft is pointless. Cross starts a program 2 weeks ago with Nakamura, only to be drafted to a separate roster. Well, I mean, I don't know if pointless is the thing, and you kind of have to have somebody. You're going to have some mix-ups, right? So maybe they don't conclude the story. Maybe we get something, but your ass better call somebody. Road Dogg, Jesse James. Maximum male models to NXT. No, they're on Raw. Dolph on NXT was good. Big pop for Molly Holly. There you go. There you go. Tomorrow night on NXT, we're getting Axiom versus Scripps. See what I'm saying? It's a problem. It's a problem. If it was A Kid versus Reggie, it might be better. Oh, the O'Shea brothers going to Raw. There you go. There you go. There you go, folks. The O'Shea brothers going to Raw. Wow. Wow. What the fuck? Does anyone care about this draft pick? How do you guys feel about Shotzi being drafted? Ron O'Shea to Raw. Oh, shit. Bronson Reed is officially a member of Raw. And last but not least, where I feel the Usos should have been drafted. Wow. Wow, folks, did you catch that one? Pretty Deadly is now a member of Smackdown. Wow, the last pick that I think we're getting, maybe wrong, I don't know. What? Pretty Deadly. A lot of people speculated. Remember, it's funny because they're in the dressing room. Last time we saw them, they were being put in a trunk and then dropped off at the lake. So I guess they swam back to shore enough to go to the main roster. They're going to be great on SmackDown. Fun tag team. We'll see. I've been kind of iffy on them, but I admit the last couple times they've been solid in the ring. So maybe a little too campy, but I'm in. They should be the maximum male models. Yeah, Tony drove them to the main roster, dropped them off, and we got the Judgment Day coming out now. Remember, they are all staying together, and I actually thought it would have been a good idea to split them up. Big entrance, though, and Damian Priest continues to stand out, guys. I called it. Good shout, Ronnie. There you go. SmackDown is stacked. Not bad, not bad. Let's see if I can get an update here real quick. Interesting round, folks. Finally getting a little bit of splash, but a little bit of surprise. So here's your update. Once I get our buddy Keyshawn out of the way. Yeah, Theory, Charlotte, Usos, LWO, Asuka, Brutes, Cross, LA Knight, Shotzi, Pretty Deadly. That's interesting. Shotzi to me doesn't belong. Anyone, I know there's some Shotzi fans out there, but let's be real. There was a few other people on the roster in this particular talent pool. Shotzi, meh. Rhea, Seth, KO, Sammy, so tag titles. Judgment Day, Raquel and Liv, New Day, Trish, Shayna and Ronda, which I think would be on a collision course for Liv and Raquel. The O'Shea brothers. So they've been pushing them, put them on the same show as the tag team champions. And Bronson Reed, who we just saw return, he's been a force. He's in that triple threat. Shit, he could win that belt on Saturday. So what do you think? What do you think, folks? How you feeling? How many rounds of the draft left? I don't know, bonkers. We got 8 on Friday, so we got 10 already tonight. Time will tell. We'll wait and see. Pretty Deadly will be excellent host of Smackdown. Okay. Yeah, Damien's starting this off, and I'm telling you guys, I think a couple in the chat agreed with me, but Damien stands out in this group, and somehow there's a lot of love for Finn, but honestly, he is the last guy on the totem pole in this group. Shotzi over Gargano. I mean, again, could Shotzi not have just been a supplemental pick, a free agent signing? To me, she doesn't have a name to garner. Like, no one was popping because Shotzi, well, I don't want to say no one because I'm sure a few people did. Devils 2-0 over the Rangers. What a playoff. I'm telling you, hockey's a wonky sport, man. Right? The Boston Bruins had 44 more points than Florida. Ooh, it stings. Like, you could have done Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes. You could have done, there's still other ladies. Zelina, you could have drafted, oh no, I guess she counts as Lowo. But you could have drafted Dana Brooke. Like, a Shotzi to me is a weird one. I still despise the idea of the new title. Nah, Dave, it's all good. Look, the way it was explained to me and the way I see it, I know there's been a lot of controversy about it, but last time they did this, the fans were upset. I was one of them. They split the titles. Remember, like I said earlier, Triple H just got handed the belt. Our buddy Eric, Easy E, here you go. Here's the belt. And at first, the idea of the two titles, oh, it doesn't matter. You're blah, blah, blah. But then the titles started building a lineage, started having matches. And then you got guys like I said, Brock Lesnar has that belt. John Cena gets that belt. Eddie Guerrero gets that belt. Rey Mysterio gets that belt. And maybe those guys never get those belts without the situation setting up the way it did. So give it time. I mean, I know we get mad about new things, but the belt looks good. It's not as ugly as I think people think it is, but most people seem to like it. I like it. And at the end of the day, I think this is a chance. Now, there is incumbent of them to do it right, to deliver what you're promising. And if they do it, great. If they don't, they'll look stupid. Ooh. Damien. See money. What? Pause. One more round. Okay, we got another round. Okay. One more round. All right. So basically, I think he said, I'm going to beat you in Puerto Rico. That's the gist of what I got here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Yeah, I mean it's good. Now, here's the question. Early predictions, folks. I know we're not there yet, but could we see Bad Bunny beat Damian Priest? Could it happen? What do you think? How do you feel about that? Shredder Priest. Shredder, I like it. Oh, listen. Hey, we were talking about MJF earlier. MJF don't get this. He might take on more heat than anybody in the business. Finn didn't get boos like that. Damian didn't get boos like that. Rhea gets cheers. So Damian and Finn and Rhea just
from one best heel in the business to the next best heel in the business of 100% of Dom's out here just they won't let this man get a word out with it. Boo booers.
Now some people said, oh, they're piping it. No, the fans are standing.
Even if you pipe this in, this is still deafening. Like they're still having to react to this. Like you can't pipe in that much and have people not notice. Yeah.
Nobody has more heat than Dominic Mysterio. Who the fuck would have thought that?
He literally reminds me so much of like Roman to like after he came out and he beat the Undertaker of he sits there and tries to start to cut a promo and they can go off on him of he literally starts to talk and they just drown him out.
Dude, it's impressive.
He has to scream over them. Yes, it's nuclear heat.
It is. It's fucking.
I love this heat. Yes, CJ, shout out. You could be on here talking about this with us, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Dom out here.
This is amazing, dude. He just starts screaming at them.
He has to scream to talk over the boos. Like this is such like old school, like 10 on 10. Like this is a guy you were championing of. Like needs to go to NXT, and he's out here getting more heat than Romulus Reigns.
Dude, it's like watching those old clips of like the 80s and 90s where the fucking audience is losing.
You're waiting for the grandma to just start throwing the crochet needles at him and everything.
Right? And I hate to be that guy. I know we've been accused of being old a couple times tonight, but again, I think like how many guys are garnering that level of heat?
Facts. As granted, I want that Finn 14 Staples shirt and good googly moogly look at
Selena Vega.
Right. I was going to say, Malachi Black, you are a lucky man, sir.
Caliente.
Muy caliente. But also, though, if the Lawo has been drafted to SmackDown and she's part of that, then is Rhea the only person not on SmackDown competing and or defending a women's championship at Backlash?
Yes.
Yeah, because Io's on SmackDown, Bianca's on SmackDown.
See.
I want to see more of what's underneath Zelina.
All right, so CJ didn't agree with us.
If she's a mess, then take it off, sweetheart. Pause.
Most heat since Seth turned on Shield. That's a good comparable.
Absolutely. I still say it's most since Roman beat Taker to where he sat there and was doing the I've got to meet him out of my palm to where this man literally can't talk. He has to scream his promo to get over the boos.
Okay, so
up next, a 6-man tag match or intergender tag match of Ronald Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and Zelina Vega versus Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley.
Now they're starting to call it out, and the crowd's going with them. LWO.
Right. I like the stuff that WWE is, by the way, doing with AWS. We're getting an advertisement for that. But did you want to run through people with the promo, or did you want Me too.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're in a commercial break, and we can tag team it. Pause. We are in a commercial break. We're rolling through. We're, I guess, heading towards the main event at some point tonight. It's funny because there's parts of the show where I'm like, could be better, but I've enjoyed this Monday. Like, it's rolling along. Maybe it's just the stream, Nick.
It's the draft. It's the draft, and it's, the wrestling may suck, but we never do.
We never do, folks. We are back all week long. Make sure you like, subscribe. Go check out our socials down below, Twitter and Instagram. We got more coming your way. I know someone mentioned some other platforms that we're working on, and there's only so many hours in the day, folks. So keep the super chats coming, keep the love coming, watch an ad or two, and soon enough we will.
I was going to say that. Well, that's how you help out with the super chats and everything like that. I know at times we pitch it of just half the time we ramble enough and we can't get through the comments, but 100% that does just fully go to us. That does fully support us. That does help us. Hopefully end up making this to the point to where this is what we do, to where we can literally just give you nothing but more and more content, nothing but more and more spending time with y'all talking that wrestling, right? So
that's it, folks. So for the fans, by the fans, like I said, and we appreciate you being here for even a minute. But like, share, subscribe, be a part of the family, and I mean, let us know. We were all about this live chat, and we've kind of built the channel around the live chat and how y'all feeling. So blow us up. Yeah, speaking of live chat.
Right. Speaking of motherings, don't worry, Wednesday will come and we'll be hating wrestling all over again. JV, you gotta smoke the hopium. You gotta hit the hopium pipe here.
I've really turned a positive corner lately.
Yeah, up until they just add a gimmick match just because a gimmick match, or we've got to play announcement tennis of anything you can do, I can do better.
Man, that show needs some better commentary. Oh my God, please.
That's what we're here for, because we're the ultimate commentary for anything and everything. That's why we beat out Kevin Patrick. That's why we beat out Excalibur. That's why, we're here. When you wish that JR was still there, throughout the 2-3 hours of Dynamite and Rampage and all of that, we got you covered with that.
Well, how do you feel about this? Last draft pick. Paul, Bray, Bliss, or Miro? It's not Miro.
Bliss also hasn't been advertised for the draft, but it's going to be interesting do they end on that? Because you even remember of when they did it to where there was the shuffle of like do, and to where someone could get drafted by one brand at the start of the show, and by the end of the show, they're getting drafted by the other brand. Like, I think Cena is a prime example of to where he ended one of the shows getting drafted, and that's he comes out as the world champion. Like you said, if they would have held on to the Usos pick and could have built that up, it's going to be interesting to see where they pay off here. Could the last pick be Bray Wyatt? We end Monday Night Raw with he's got the whole world.
How people feel about that? I mean, I think I've
heard.
I'm so reluctant to do it.
The rumor train, the rumor express when it comes to Bray Wyatt's been starting to percolate a lot more.
A little more
about him wanting to come back, him this and that. Of we're getting a new writer. I hate that term for Bray Wyatt, etc.
You know what's funny about this? Like, is the new writer Bray? Like, what are you gonna do? How many writers does this get? Like, what are you gonna do? You can't just keep. Someone's got to be able to just let him fucking write it. I don't know what to tell you, but we got to get to a point with him.
Welcome to Bray Wyatt, where the points are made up and the facts don't matter. Did y'all see where Corey and Carmelo is pregnant now? Yeah. Yes, we did, Kenneth.
Congrats.
Steve, CJ, Brand, always got yo be some. English, please, doing are you how? We miss CJ, Ali, and LJ.
You don't have to. He's right here. CJ's right here. LJ's still here somewhere. Ali's doing her ting ting, and we're all good to go.
Ting ting for the ring. What? It's happened to Triple H. What? Yeah, so we're reliving that we got Imperium drafted, which, by the way, we saw,
the dance moves
out there. They call me Hot Step, a murderer out there, 1-2 stepping. They're his wedding day. Right.
I'm a woman's man.
Right.
That was awesome. And Gunther
I
dancing.
saw somebody that said, "Tell me Gunther and his wife don't look like two supervillains smiling after they're like planning to take down Batman." Shout out! I think it was the homie Big Ray that said that. So shout out.
Right.
But we've got Rhea and Ray kicking off right now. And why is Ray wearing fucking Judgment Day gear here? He's got more purple on than Judgment Day.
I'm the Logan Paul of wrestling for life. You're turning into the Veer of the wrestling for life.
Right.
No, that's it. He shows up and disappears a bit.
Exactly. Where's your
back.
GPS? You need a better Wi-Fi connection.
Just because you don't
doesn't look like she fits with half this tag team here.
Oh,
now, like
nice.
It's all disconjointed. Of Ray's got purple and white gear. Escobar's got red and white. Zelina's got red and white. As
the LW, the
Escobar and Dom or Damien tagging in. Sorry,
the LeWo didn't coordinate. They're like, Ray, did you really bring your purple stuff?
Right,
Ray, red, green, and white.
You're
man.
not supposed to be with them, right? Like just because your kid's there.
Are you excited for Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels? Pure rules match. Lee Moriarty. Yeah. It should be good. I'm down.
It's good on paper. It's again of tell me why it's happening. I don't know what supervillain says. Who said
Gunther and his wife.
Oh yeah,
them. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We got there.
Yeah. Who else has got a prediction? What are you taking?
Good question, sir.
LeWo was.
I'll take Judgment Day because gotta get the big win. Looked strong on Monday Night Raw, especially going into Backlash. Very much, I think they look strong going into it. Especially you've got Rhea Women's Champion. You're still building over. Dom's the best heel WWE has. Best true heel. Roman's a heel, but is he the best true heel?
No, because
Roman gets cheers just as much as he gets boos.
Right, and MJF suffers from that too, right? Like people do want to cheer for MJF. They like him. They buy his scarf. So again, Dom, pure heel. Like fuck yeah.
Right, yeah.
LeWo for the win. I'm going to agree with Kenneth on this one. I think we're going to get a LeWo roll up, and off we go.
You're going to get a LeWo blow. What? You're going to get a LeWo blow.
Oh look at this. It's cute.
I don't know. I got a fucking new after I had a Taco Bell ad, but one draft he got drafted to SmackDown, end of night Triple H got drafted to Raw. Yes, see, Ronnie's out there agreeing with me.
You need more of that shit on this. Like this was too cookie cutter.
Well, that's if you made it a one-night event of you literally had people rush into the draft podium of like how you had it before of I'm so glad like when it was Vince and Flair is probably to me my favorite draft or what I go to for how a WWE draft goes to where like Vince drafts somebody and Flair has to go, it's not your pick. And then he turns around and picks exactly who Vince picked just to say piss off.
Yeah, no, and I like it. I do. And I mean, even a couple times when Steph was involved, I believe with Shane and then Eric.
Still, Shane coming out there in the wheelchair with the, here comes the money, just doing the whole little wrist shake and everything.
Right. He should be the last draft pick.
He needs to announce the last draft pick.
Right.
He needs to be announced as the GM of Monday Night Raw.
He had successful surgery, and I don't wish that on anybody. It can't be a good day at the office, but man, talk about going down in infamy.
Going down like his daddy.
Oh my God, that's the craziest part of it all, right? Like that apple didn't snap far.
He only tore one, not two. So maybe he's Kevin Nash's kid. What? Larry, you had a tremor. What?
You had me a tremor. Ripley team wins. Judgment Day.
Judgment Day picks up the win. Larry says, "Where I used to live, I don't know. If you need help getting back to your home, we're not the services to call. We'll help you find the wrestling for life, but we won't help you get home." But this is your home.
Dude, that was the dumbest happy Monday.
See, sometimes I just
that caught me so
into a happy
ridiculous
accident.
where I used to live. Anyway, move on. Thank you, Larry. That was good. It wasn't supposed to be, but it was.
Like I said, backslide into a happy little accident there.
Some shit just hits you sometimes.
I'm excited for. We already touched on that one.
Yep.
Dom with a roll up on Ray. That's how it'll end.
That's a good show. I like that one. That's a good one.
Steve, it's not a tumor. Oh, are we trying to do? It's not a tumor. Yeah, do it. You need to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. You need to do it now. Yeah. I need to see more views. Yeah, you do it now. Listen to me.
Some thumbs up here, folks. Let's go.
Right.
That was a perfect setup.
I'll be back. Rated R Superstar Edge after Judgment Day wins going to happen. Oh, do we get? Well, no.
You're actually taking one of Richard's predictions this time?
Well, no. I'm having to work through it in my head here. Of sometimes, like I said, the vitamin files stick together. I was like, wait, no. Edge has been drafted to SmackDown. The rest of Judgment Day has been drafted to Raw. So
yeah,
we had them stay together. I thought it would have been interesting if we split them up, differentiate.
I kind of agree.
See how much Raw how much Dom gets that heat on his own. Say if Evo was on Raw or if he's on SmackDown and he's out there by himself.
I'm curious. I mean, because he seems to be. It's not like he's taking the heat off the group, right? Like he's got his own level of heat. So I think if you peeled back the other people, with maybe the exception of Rhea, just because how fun they are, it might work. But I thought they were I talked about it on the channel that they were pushing Rhea a little bit away. I thought she might get drafted to a different show for that reason. But
I thought she was going to SmackDown until we got Bianca going to SmackDown. As Rhea out here just throwing hands and just about to smash Ronald Mysterious.
I got a 2 count coming.
Chef, what up? Yeah, get to the chopper. Yeah, do it. You need to get to the subscribe button, the like button, the share button. Yeah, you need to hit the bell notification. Yeah, do it. As Zelina drops out Rhea on the outside.
Monday Night Raw draft KJ and Nick. LOL. Yeah, I'd take that. Let's go.
Commentary team, do we get into, or wait, does it get to like, we'd have to do the randomizer of like KJ White has been drafted to Friday Night SmackDown. Right. Big Nick has been drafted to Monday Night Raw. Like, we just get the brand split there.
Oh, drop kick.
I was going to say, but anybody that's out there listening, if you need an alternate commentary, we got you covered.
Keep going backward, Nick. You'll find the first comment.
Okay.
What? Vince gets drafted back to Greenwich, Connecticut, where I used to live. There we go. We connected the dots on that one.
No, you're fine. I was about to say, Larry, with keep going backwards, you'll find the first comment,
He's talking in code.
I'm traveling.
He's talking in code.
I was like, wait, what?
Oh, and CJ gets NXT. He loves NXT.
Have that. That ain't even what I'm.
He loves NXT.
This man don't even want NXT. Fine. So when we do the AEW draft, CJ, you can get dark.
Oh, big kick by Damian.
Damian with a choke slam into the ring from the outside of the ring. The sound of having for the 3 count. Damian Priest. So again, like I said, you're building up the heel team into
the head.
Backlash. So this is where you end up with the baby face that gets the win.
And Dom looks like a Damian looks like a beast.
Damian looks like a beast. Balor looks like he's somebody's coach.
That damn Dominic.
Brr. But no, I think this fully sets up to where Bad Bunny gets the win here. Because Damian ends with the go-home show with the win. He looks like a badass going into it. Even with his diesel pose. But Bad Bunny's gonna Canadian Destroyer and hippity hoppity his way to a victory, I feel.
He can't lose to Bunny though, it would be bad. Because I think you can
it'll be bad. For the
It'll
money.
be bad money.
Isn't that funny? It'll be bad money.
Yeah, no, it's not a good thing. So I'm curious because, like the comment here, I don't know if he wins the new championship. I don't think he has enough credibility with this fan base at this point to take that belt for the first time. But it would be a huge jump up. It would shock us. I mean, Jericho did it once upon a time.
Oh, wait, you're saying Priest going all the way to World Heavyweight title?
No.
I'd like to see Priest versus Gunther. That's a match I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I think Bad Bunny just puts a nice little bow and we just cap this off of cool. They had their match at WrestleMania. Now Judgment Day goes here. The Mysterios and the Low go here, and we can just move beyond this.
I'm getting the replay. Cody looking like he in a fucking zombie movie.
Well, Cody looking like he's wearing a fucking couch fucking pattern for a suit. And that neck tattoo is still always distracting.
Nice
spear. What? No, we didn't even have anything close to a spear. Been taking one for the day. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tony Deppen, and then next week, Zack Sabre Jr. 1-on-1 with Nick Gage, both banger matches. Death match, Jesus. Well, we're here covering anything,
right?
Everything. But I still also feel a little bit like
Sabre Jr. versus Nick Gage. Interesting.
No, this is what it's like when worlds collide.
Yeah, that's an interesting booking.
Yeah, well, I feel like I kind of halfway quote with MJF here of how many of those bangers are going to pay for your hospital bills and everything.
But yeah, I mean, a guy's known for super technical wrestling. Like this guy's challenging, Daniel Bryan to step up.
It's like Daniel Bryan versus Nick Gage, literally.
Right?
Honestly, that's not about shout. I kind of want to see that. Baylor looks like a Premier Soccer League coach. Yes, he does, Steph.
Is it funny that he's standing in front of like this poster of Triple H and his fucking schnoz?
Because it's all about the game.
How old is this?
That's why I'm going to make you have the new championship. I want Corey Graves on SmackDown, Michael Cole on Raw. Well,
why?
So, folks, no matter I was going to pitch it to us. So, no matter what, folks, we got you covered, whether it be Monday Night Raw, whether it be Friday Night SmackDown, whether it be NXT, whether it be AEW Dynamite, whether it be Impact, we got you covered in anything and everything when it comes to professional wrestling. We are your alternative commentary. We're the commentary table.
Oh, we got more draft.
What need you got to have in your life. Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa still coming up.
Can I ask you a question?
You can. Doesn't mean
my new gimmick. Can I ask everyone a question? Are you short on celebrity or alumni talent that we're doubling up on people tonight? Did flights get canceled? Like, did you not book enough people? Like, or are we just fucking let them both shows get a little Teddy?
Explain.
Well, you got JBL we saw on Friday, Teddy we saw on Friday, RVD we saw on Friday.
They're both still coming out? I didn't know they were coming out.
They're coming up next. Last round, I think. They haven't really been clear.
These are the only people we know that won't get canceled by the time they're supposed to show up.
It's so funny. Anyway, you figure they could, call a couple of, or Sergeant Slaughter, Jesse Ventura can't come in, read a card. Fucking Tommy Dreamer's got to be good for something.
Right. Well, no. Tommy Dreamer right now, he's dealing with some things. We could go through a couple other people, but I mean, when you got RVD out there and he's reading the cue card backwards, and of course, we all know he's there for Riddle. There's some of this stuff that is just right itself. I thought we were going to see the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and that's maybe when we would have seen Charlotte get drafted.
Where's Big Rick?
I draft with a 39th pick, baby. SmackDown selects my daughter, the Nature Girl, Charlotte Flair. Yeah, 100%.
I'm so confused. I want. Yeah, did you do Ric Flair as Dusty Rhodes?
I went both. Sometimes when you do older Nate, he becomes Dusty.
Okay, that's what I thought. I like it. I want Corey Hazel's man. Got that one. Cody saying in my head, is that a spoiler for RKO?
He hears Dusty in my head. He talked to me.
Sounds like Ric Flair.
It's hard times, baby.
Big Nick, I like the suit he came prepared for draft.
Exactly. You know, I wore this for the award show, and so I gotta get the most out of this tuxedo. You know, you can't wear it, the 1-on-1. You can't wear it only one time, and you gotta show up and show out because that's what the show is about. So
there you go. Cameron had to be a hunter's face on the truck, right? Yeah, it was kind of funny. But it's not like a good.
Do we get Cameron Grimes? I know that's a hard shift there from camera to Cameron, but do we get Cameron Grimes getting announced as a late round draft pick here?
I guess. I mean, I feel like the last little bit here is you gotta give us something.
Right. So which night gets Pat McAfee?
Smackdown.
Smackdown.
Yeah.
Right.
I imagine when he comes back, that's where if he comes back. I don't know if he's coming back. I haven't checked.
I'd like to see him come back, but yeah.
I would too. He brings a level. I know some people bagged on him, but he brought a level of energy that all announced teams around wrestling need some fucking energy, some giddy up. You're not calling baseball. You're calling a fucking.
I was going to say, someone who does a lot of Pat McAfee stuff. So yes, I would 100% say a little bit. Cedar Branches, no.
Did you hear the stories of what if there were rumors that Undertaker was going to bring back the American Badass gimmick, and I was like, he's not doing that. He's not gonna. I can't imagine that. But what if he did that kinda as the GM of SmackDown?
See, this is why I hate at times, because they literally just take anything. Like they take a kernel of truth and just like, this is a story, right? No.
CJ, was that for me? Why are you yelling, Larry?
Why are you yelling?
Dusty Flair.
Yeah, sometimes, you
got a style and profile.
Listen, you do Ric Flair of the consortium, it does get a bit dusty. So
do or be, Ronnie? That's what I want to know. Do or be.
Wait, what? Nick and KJ should do a draft pick on Raw tonight. I would like to.
How do you mean do?
Tune into us and just with the 36
pick which one?
Monday Night Raw selects. We do that like the WWE, like the NFL draft.
I wish. That would be great.
That'd be fantastic. Make that happen. Be a friend, tell a friend.
There you go.
But we also did our own draft that I feel like is better than their draft.
Yeah, we went more straight up. We had fun. We had trades. We had some excitement.
We treated it like an actual draft. Imagine that. Oh my God. What a novel idea.
Wait, time out. This is not, you don't want this.
What? Saxton on my TV? Yeah, I don't want this.
No, you look at the purple on this man. I love you. You love me.
Barney out there.
Holy shit.
If all the raindrops were lemon drops, I
think Raw gets Braun Breaker. There you go. I like that one, Jason.
Devils 3-0. I gotta wake my wife up then. She'll
pause. Why?
Well, because she's from New Jersey. So fun fact. So
wake her up just to tell her.
Yeah, no, she'll rub it in my face about the Devils.
Pause.
Yeah, fuck off. Your guys' draft was awesome. Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah, we didn't split it over.
Why, like I said, you need to be a friend, tell a friend of, this is why when you watch these Monday Night Raws and these Friday Night Smackdowns and everything, you just put them on mute and we just got you covered.
I see Braun Breaker get the draft SmackDown next draft pick. All right, okay. Now a lot of people feeling Braun.
Oh, that would be interesting. I still stand by my statement of Braun Breaker is NXT's Goldberg.
I would take Byron Saxton over. Yeah, I mean, I never thought somebody would make me miss Byron.
That's because Byron was just a soundboard.
Barely.
Yeah, he didn't need to be there. You could just That's what I say, Corey.
Right. It's a good thing he wasn't getting paid by the fucking word. Have we not got enough of Belair and Damage Control?
Yep. We got a Teddy Long. Sorry, we haven't got enough of Teddy Long, but we've got enough of what you were talking about. You guys seriously do a great job. Love the show. Well, thank you, Boston.
We appreciate it.
Over enunciate that more just because I'm a New Yorker, so I gotta halfway take it to piss on Boston.
Teddy. No, we appreciate the love, folks. We do. We were happy that anybody tunes in, but some nights we feel like we're just rambling along, but people seem to like yourself enjoy. So we appreciate all that love.
All right. Well, Gary asked where we're from, but holla.
We the North.
Yeah, so now we've just switched places.
Trick Williams to Raw. I like that one, Richard.
Clock, motherfucker.
Richard might get one on this one. It's got a realm of possibility.
Chad Gable. So is it both or just one?
I thought you said, that's so funny. I thought you said Roosh. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Roosh. Yeah, no, Shoosh. So the Alpha Academy has been drafted to Monday Night Raw, Michael.
Oh, so Alpha both go.
Yeah. He's from Canada. I'm from New England, New Hampshire by way of New York. I see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams to WWE Raw. Logan Paul and Braun Breaker to SmackDown. Grayson Waller to Raw and Bray to Raw. Ooh.
Rick Dukes. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Holla. I appreciate it.
Well, really? He's strong as an ox. Is the best thing you can tell me, Corey?
So wait, what the fuck? So on Tuesday, in case you didn't know, on Tuesday when we're here live for NXT, so
shut up! I quit.
The NXT Tag Team Women's Championships will be defended by a team from SmackDown versus a team on Raw to see who wins them. What the fuck?
I'm so confused by life right
Why?
now. They're good though.
Welcome I like to Monday Night Raw where the points are made up and the teams don't matter.
But at least this gives me hope that they're trying to do something with the women's tag. Maybe they dissolve the NXT.
Cameron Grimes to the moon, baby. We're going to the moon on Friday Night SmackDown, Mago.
Cameron Grimes, that's beautiful. But you see what they did again?
Why did they sneak Rick Boogs into there?
That's what the last pick was. It was ridiculous. They shouldn't have picked
What
Boogs.
the fuck? I didn't notice that. They snuck Rick Boogs on me. I was all excited, and then I realized
it slipped you a boogie,
Rick Boogs. No Elias, no Nakamura. So if you like Old Spice, turn into Friday Night SmackDown because that's what you're about to get a lot of commercials for.
Dude, what a weird round.
Is that the last round? I hope not.
I think it is.
That was bad. No, you gotta end it with someone better. Like,
but Grimes is good, but
yeah, Grimes is good, but what the Boogs?
Yeah, Boogs kind of being slotted in there is kind of like Shotzi for me of like, they are nice supplemental picks. They're not big enough names to make us go, oh, look.
You couldn't draft. This goes back to, I guess, when I drafted, I drafted Shayna or I drafted Ronda. They're like, you could have drafted Shayna with the same pick. It's one of those of like, when you pick Boogs, it's like, you could have drafted Elias together with him, right? You know that.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, yeah, I don't care.
So Boogs gets drafted, but no Elias.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not you've been having them hang out forever. Why not just keep it up? Look like a tag team.
You're going to get Boogs versus Austin Theory for the U.S. title because Boogs can't be with Nakamura unless we get supplemental to where Elias goes to SmackDown.
They're going to try and turn him into the ultimate booger.
Bastion Booger?
Bastion Booger. So is that so? There you go. I mean, there's the last 4 picks, guys. As you can see,
Allegedly, we've got right now Solo Sikoa coming out. So we've got setting up for the main event as we've got about just over 50 minutes left, unless we get run over from Monday Night Raw. But
we'll
that
see.
can't be the end. That can't be the end.
Yeah, it has to be. We're getting a main event. We're going home. That's it. Your final pick of the draft was Cameron Grimes and Rick Boogs.
You telling me that doesn't go over like a turn the punch bowl?
It's a little bit like, again, why were the supplemental picks? Shotzi's a supplemental pick.
I need to know who's still in the draft pool. Like,
I like
there's gotta be more than this.
But now, like the confusing one, like you pointed out, Chance and Carter getting drafted. So your women's tag title gets drafted, and then the team they're defending against, who we assume you're going to drop them to, gets drafted as well.
Yeah, so you've got Smackdown versus Raw on NXT, essentially. It's really redundant and unnecessary, I feel.
So wait a minute. Well, see, I know what I really want them to do is dissolve the 2 belts and have it like before, where the tag titles can be defended on all 3 shows.
Yeah, that's what they were supposed to do, and then that's when you turn around and had Trinity end up in Impact and Mercedes, aka Sasha, end up in New Japan.
Right. 4-0 Devils.
Put a beating.
Right.
But so we still have Baron Corbin that could be drafted. We still have Dana Brooke. We still have Elias. We still have Johnny Gargano. We still have Emma. We still
Emma
have
was NXT.
Nikki Cross.
Poor Nikki. Where's Eric Young?
Good question. We still have Tegan Knox. We still have Xia Li plus select NXT superstars. So could Braun Breaker be your end of the show draft pick to say SmackDown or Monday Night Raw?
Maybe.
I feel like you can't end it on that though. Like that's I know that they probably could and fucking will and would, but still, it's just one of those of that's such a weak fucking sauce. Like
I want to see Grimes versus Zayn. I think Grimes versus Finn. The Rangers are done.
Like you both mentioned people who he could face that are not on the show that he's on.
Yeah, they left. Shit.
Right, he's on SmackDown. The 2 people you mentioned are on Monday Night Raw.
Trish was a wasted pick. I agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's bizarre. How do we feel about Brock Lesnar's stipulation that his contract says he can do whatever the fuck he wants?
Well, he's a free agent just like Omos. I mean, he's got the same contract situation as
Wait, is Omos a free agent?
Omos is a free agent. Mustafa Ali is a free agent. So Brock Lesnar has the same contract as Dolph Ziggler.
Do you think I'd send Mustafa down to fucking NXT and let him battle fucking, Wes Lee and Cameron?
I saw people that were trying to float around that false narrative that him and Aaliyah were going down to NXT.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing is I don't think a lot of these free agents wouldn't be bad going down to NXT.
Tonight at 11:05 p.m. Eastern time, the final picks of the draft.
Bro, my God.
Bro, my God.
On what? On what?
On
Dasher or on Dancer?
On Raw Talk. Dancer? Final picks on Raw Talk. The fans are pumped.
On Talk Raw. All right. Well, NXT has officially no women's tag team. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, they just gutted that pretty quick.
Right. Gargano will go to Raw. Raw. Candice.
Yep. The way.
Index. And yeah. Everybody on the ways out on Raw outside of Gargano.
I wonder if Vince put WWE draft together. Yours was better than Vince's draft. I don't think so. I think a lot of this is Triple H. And if you watch some of the things that are working out, Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's got some networks that he's got to appease, but I think he's trying to set something up here. Like he's kind of got, a different vibe to each show. I think there's planned here.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We might not love it all, and I don't really care for like the boogs and shit, but it'll all work out in the wash. It's just some of the picks don't make sense, but such is life. They're not good surprises. That's what
Well,
bothers me.
it's when you get into that weird day 2 and everything like that. And what was it initially? Well, yeah, NXT has no women's division, seeing how women's tag division, seeing how both the champion and the challenger are on brands that are not NXT.
It's interesting. It really is interesting. Now, again, originally I'm like, are they going to draft fucking Bar Rescue? What are we doing?
Don't put that evil on me.
But now Bar Rescue. Well, no, they broke up, so they're not a tag team. Yeah, I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but they're gonna have to execute. Like you're gonna have to put everybody together. You're gonna have to fucking line them up.
Right.
And yeah, you got to make the division count. You got enough TV time to do it.
But that goes to like what you said of if you do it to where it's one unified division.
Raw is
what's a peacock? Smaller than a peacock? I'm a peacock, Larry, and you gotta let me fly. Seth Rollins battle him. Bar Rescue drown. Why?
Oh.
Sheamus longer tenured talent to get drafted. Second to Usos makes you feel old.
Solo's great in this role, man. Like the whole crowd doing the sing along, and he's just moving his eyes. Like he's playing his role really well.
That's what made it work great with him and even Rhea.
93 likes on the video, by the way, folks. We greatly appreciate that. We're almost at 100.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's say refresh. Let's see what happens.
Very fun. I think I'm about to, if we're going to sit here and stay for the supplemental draft, then I'm going to pause for the cause.
Supplement yourself?
I'm going to supplement myself, and I'm going to pause for the cause here and come back, refresh, rehydrated, and regenerated.
Cool. All right. So Nick's taking a pause for the cause, and NXT officially no women's tag. We got that one. I think the NXT women's tag goes to SmackDown and becomes the SmackDown tag belts and gets a mid-card title. I worry that we're getting into too many belts. I'd actually see the opposite, Richard, where maybe you combined the women's tag belt with the NXT tag belt. It's one belt, and the champions can defend on all three shows. I think that might work a little better to combat what is a shallow division. NXT officially got that one again. We're going to keep hitting the same one. Need more vitamins. Got to re-up, as they say. Solo for the win. Okay, who else got a prediction? We got lots of people kicking around over 50. Get a prediction in. If you're feeling lazy, I'll take an S for... I'll take an R for Rollins and an S for Solo. Problem solving there, folks. That's what you just watched. Seth Rollins battle him. It's crazy, folks. Who won the Mysterio match? Judgment Day won. Kenneth? Re-up to Tuka. That's how we do. Bro, did you hear KP? I can't hear him. Oh. I'll just let that hang there for a second. All right. Seth for the win. What? Solo wins. I got Seth. Seth needs a W. He's fighting Omos on Saturday. He needs something. Solo loses. I'm curious how the earlier storyline plays into tonight. Is there some shenanigans, some tomfoolery? We'll wait and see. I mean, it could. They're really building up the disappointment and how much the Usos and Solo can't get their shit together. I don't know. I'm going to go Seth. What does that say? Do you think Leva Bates would fit well in NXT, KJ or Nick? Yes or no? Give her a go. Give her a shot. Solo for the win, but not clean. Yeah, it's never clean, Vance. Rollins eating out of someone's mind. Did he sound like Hannibal Lecter when he said it? No, too soft, I think. Rollins, they are going to build his stock for that title. I'm with you, buddy. I agree with that completely. Ric Flair drafted to Raw Talk. There you go. Shit, where was Flair? Come on now. Corey said, hey, it's a family show. There you go. There you go. Coming from the guy who was making fucking babies at commentary. Seth Rollins won. Oh, well, early spoiler. Thank you. Boogs is like drafting a punter. Boogs is like drafting a punter in the first round. Yeah, it's just one of those ones. Like, if you got other talent out there, they can just go in that supplemental draft. I think you're trying to be like, ooh, we didn't expect that. We didn't, but do we care? Yeah, it's a bit of an odd surprise, right? I mean, Cameron Grimes, good. Chance and Carter, not bad. We'll see what they do with it and that division. But yeah, Boog's surprising me. He's been hanging around with Elias. So is that dead now? Elias didn't get drafted. So I'm curious, but not my favorite pick. Like I said, Trish is a wasted pick. She's alum. She's a Hall of Famer. She doesn't have to be tethered to any brand. Now, does that mean we're going to see her on both? No, it just means if she wanted to, she could. Mofo referring to eating someone's feet. CJ making sure. I gently played with that a couple times, but pause. And that's not what I meant. Technically, there was a Mysterio on both teams. Larry, it's a valid point. But Judgment Day won. So there you go. Seth Rollins for the win. Good show. I think Waller, Ilya, Roxanne, and Tyler Bates getting drafted in Raw Talk. I picked Ilya for sure. Uh-oh. I'm still here, folks. I'm still here. Funny. But, yes, we are rolling on. Bad timing on everything. But, yeah, we're singing away for Seth. I think Priest for that title. I don't know, Steve. I think it might be too soon. Could he get it at some point? Yeah, but I think a lot of people have said we got to establish that title. I think that's where we go. Pardon? Are you playing with my emotions? Oh, Pause, literally, yes. I actually shut my shit down. Oh, he's back. Guys, we are live. And yeah, shit happens. Dragunov would be dope on the main roster. Draft him I picked him because I picked Gunther. To me, it was a money in the bank situation. Like, you get Gunther and Ilya on the same show. You throw in, you got guys like Pete Dunne kicking around. Ilya's a monster, and he's a hell of a talent. So, yeah. I mean, I would have liked to see that better than Boogs and then pick Boogs on Raw Talk. Oh, Mr. Brand. Oh, I got Cody winning the title. No, Ronnie. Back away, Ronnie. Cody Rhodes winning that title, I think, is a fucking horrible decision. The problem with Cody getting that title is it makes that title a consolation prize, and it makes Cody look bad in the making. I think Cody knows that. I think Cody's smart. Same guy that when he went to, AEW, he said, if I lose, I can never challenge for the belt, because he didn't want that optic. By the way, Seth on fire. Solo on the table.
By the way, it is was and always will be a consolation prize.
It still isn't, and I figured out why.
One,
like
two count.
But yeah, no, if Cody goes near it, it's a fucking problem. But anyone else has a chance, whether it's Seth or RKO or somebody with some legitimate. I mean, Brock could do it, but I think that's a terrible idea. So we'll wait and see.
I like this though. Whoa, fuck off, CJ. Why? But the White Rabbit, oh my god. The new host, the ghost of KJ.
He dead. He finally died on stream.
Oh, literally, he finally reached maximum capacity of being on stream.
Man, I was like sitting here like I can hold this sneeze back until Nick gets here.
Why? Yes, the one time I'm not out here, I'm seeing it. I'm out here. Hachu, bless you.
You know what? It's the smoke
Commander. I sneeze. All right. I think I heard something. I heard about. Well, I heard something that was alluding to the World Heavyweight title getting the lineage of the old one, and Dusty was technically chasing the NWA title, which would tie into the lineage of that one.
All right. Interesting.
I hate that if you have to sit there and go through the annals of lineage to determine if the story matters or not. It's not a good story.
Solo gets slapped in the face. Seth laughing. Brave man.
I've got Solo just wailing on Seth right now.
G's on your side. He thinks it's secondary too. And it is. I mean, I just wish people would just understand it's not the same. They're not connected. Even Paul said
they're not connected, but that's part of the issue is they're not connected. So then it becomes the second place trophy. It becomes the participation championship belt.
No, because it's for a different brand. Like, again, going back to what we said earlier, it is a new belt on a new brand.
Right. So if you weren't having the
go back down this road,
even going into the brand split.
Like I said, when Eddie Guerrero won the secondary title, when we had other wrestlers, Brock, Cena,
we've got the Usos out here, we've got that disqualification.
Why is he not bleeding? But yeah, man, it really becomes.
And this is how we end Monday Night Raw. We've got Sammy and KO. We've got Riddle. We've got all hell breaking loose. We've got
no contesta.
No contest as we cut quickly to commercial break here, and surprisingly, no Omos to tie into Backlash.
Okay,
fair enough, but I do have Raw talk already lined up if we're gonna sit here and placate the supplemental draft.
Dun, dun, dun.
You could harm the messenger and not us. The new title is going to be a workhorse title, and I love it. You wait to be seen. See how it goes before you put
exactly. Thank you, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, right. But still, it felt like a second-rate title.
Thank you. Yes.
Right, but still,
let it play out.
The WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship.
I agree with you, buddy. I agree with you.
When one match is starting off a pay-per-view with AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn and KO, that doesn't feel inferior.
It doesn't feel inferior. And when you get pay-per-views with no Roman, but you get Seth versus AJ Styles, you get Seth versus whoever, I'm convinced it's going to be Seth, clearly. But when you're getting consistent title defenses and no Roman to be seen on those pay-per-views, and like you said, give it a chance.
When that happens, we haven't seen that happen.
Nobody says the American League champions are inferior to the National League champions. They both are.
When they lose the Super Bowl every year, yes, they fucking are.
But that's where they'll find their moments to have those Super Bowl moments. Those come together to see who's better. But during,
and even then, you're talking about like the Super Bowl. Then again,
I don't know why
so and so wins it, and then we reset back to normal.
Like I said, man, I don't know why it's so hard. Because last time, like I said, when they split these titles, nobody looks at those title runs. And I know what we're going to do as a collective is as we move forward, we're going to get caught up in the matches and be like, this is awesome. And we won't look back on the title runs as, oh, that was secondary. Because we didn't do it back then. We didn't say, oh, this guy was secondary to Triple H or whoever had the title on the other show.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Nah, we knew who it was with two separate things. And you create a workhorse title like you did for Smackdown, but give it a chance.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know what's a workhorse title? It's called the IC belt. You don't need a world heavyweight championship. If you're literally telling me
Raw needed a championship,
no one could beat Roman.
You can't split the
because
brand
he's now on a new brand of we can't have him cross brands. As he's the Thanos of WWE, but that's now, so we need to have a new championship.
That's not what they've decided to do, and we're going to be okay with it. And again, what they're building here is an opportunity to have. What are you going to have? Seth just muddle around in second, third place for the next 3 years, next 500 days, however long Roman has this belt. You let him go. You let him do his thing on SmackDown. But I don't understand why people can't just say, oh, look, brand new show, brand new brand. We just drafted. That show's going to have some way like a tournament to get to a new champion. And we move forward with one brand.
You want to know why? Because the other guy on the other brand holds 2 titles.
It's not just it's going to get merged into one, but it's still one champion. Like, again, you're going to do this thing, and we've argued about this enough. How are the picks going? But Roman taking one of the belts off his shoulder and handing it to someone cannot be a better than him going into a tournament and winning a new belt. You can't. Nobody in the chat
it's a better. I'm saying
nobody can agree with that.
In the ballpark.
No way. You're crazy.
You're not saying
Roman taking a belt off his shoulder. That's sad.
It's not in the same ballpark.
That's depressing.
I'm not saying it's 1A to 1B, but I'm saying it's in the same ballpark of literally we had to make a new title on a new brand.
Because you got a new show. That's what they're building us on, bro.
So then you have Roman Reigns sit there and be he's
if Roman gave up one of those belts
over both realms.
You cannot tarnish Roman's run at this point. You cannot tarnish Roman's run. If he lost a triple threat and lost one of those belts, brand asterisk. If he has one of those belts taken away, it's a weak move. Well, he had one of the belts. Now they're going to have this belt so long that they're probably going to merge it to one title belt. It's his legacy that they've built. I think anything less would have tarnished it. That's it. And now the idea that Raw's going to have its own belt is amazing.
It's just one of those of literally if you didn't make a compensatory championship.
Why though? You started fresh with something beautiful. The first man that wins that, just like when Finn Balor did, you have a chance to start something new.
Yes, as the guy who couldn't beat Roman Reigns.
But that's only if Cody touches that belt. No one else is tied to that story. And again, Roman's on a different show. So Roman saying here, take one of my belts. That's shit, man. That's a fucking hit. That's embarrassing.
But anyways, let us know your ratings for night 2 of the draft Monday Night Raw, as we still have. I've got Raw talk kicking off right now because apparently we've got into this for the supplemental draft picks here.
Right.
I hate to say it to man, but I can't see it. Why? Raw talk still loading. I just got it up right now. I would like Sami to win new title. Interessante. Raw is boring tonight. I'm sorry, my brother, says Jordan. I don't think it was boring at all.
I don't know how boring it was. I thought it was all right.
Right. What did Boston say? This is a real championship with a long lineage. Who? Why?
The real championship has, I see where I think that's what the idea is, right? You go back to kind of the play on the big Goldie and playing that lineage to the title that used to say the world title. I like it. I like the idea, and we've wanted more. And I think now we're going to get shows that have more. And I think it's a good thing.
Fair enough. But so we're getting a 5 out of 10. We're getting Chef saying this belt situation is a mess.
No, it's not. It's simple.
Saying
what? New show, new belt. Old show, old belt. That's it.
Oh Lord.
They just split. That's it. Simple.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10. They succeeded in furthering along storylines build up to Backlash. Well, it was the go home show for Backlash. So at least on the Raw end.
Where is this fucking
Larry says a 7 out of 10. Richard, Seth is the only one that can win it and not a consolation prize.
That's not true.
Everybody else viable loss to Roman. Not if we get a heel Drew McIntyre.
I just think that, and again, I think they have to get to the title in a compelling way. I do think that's why they canceled the King and Queen of the Ring, because I think that's what we're going to get is some type of tournament for this belt, and a heavyweight tournament in WWE is going to be stacked. Just on Raw, it's going to be stacked.
But then I feel like you add certain people that are going to take an L that don't need to take an L.
What do you mean don't need to take an L? If you lose in a
Cody
won't. If you make him lose a certain way, it's fine. That is completely fine. I still think he's going to lose to Brock Lesnar. This whole you can't take an L it's not necessarily.
Well, no, so then you're going
to
dig into what I've pitched before of it's hard times, baby. We're going
I agree with you totally on that.
Yeah. The long train to Georgia out here.
Take some beatings.
Cody, yeah.
I think Cody, if there was a tournament, Cody makes the finals and loses to, say, Seth. Seth finally gets his win on Cody after 3 losses. Whew, it might work.
6 out of 10. Raw, 10. 7 out of 10. Someone said Raw is boring to watch, and AW is frustrating to watch. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I didn't think Raw was that boring tonight. I was kind of enjoying most of it. Even the storyline stuff was decent. Yeah, the draft was a little underwhelming. That's it.
Yeah, it was good, 100%. They need to give Balor a run with this belt at some point. He would be Universal Champion for a day, and they had to give it up. He deserves it. I've seen people throw that around. If we get Finn and Seth, and that's literally we get the new the Universal Championship kind of coronation here. But it is interesting how we got the mid-card titles to switch of now. Gunther with the IC belt is on Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory with the U.S. titles on Friday Night Smackdown. So
get to the picks. I don't want to hear all this shit.
Bashway out of 10. Welcome to when you watch the Smackdown Lowdown.
Right.
So you literally be like, and we're going to commercial break, and so got drafted here. Thank you. Good night.
I really do think Raw has the potential to be a really fun 3 hours. You have Gunther. If you let
it's
Gunther,
all how they book it. It's if they book it right. That's the thing.
Exactly. And I think they have an opportunity to really fucking book some cool shit and have a really strong middle of the show, like that IC division.
So drafted to Monday Night Raw.
She got drafted.
Got Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, and Johnny Gargano all in compensatory to Tamina, because nobody meaner than Tamina.
I'm so sorry. Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, Johnny Gargano
ends up in the Bloodline storyline. Tamina ends up in the Bloodline storyline. If we're doing allegedly the next challenger for Roman Reigns is AJ Styles, and we're gonna get Bloodline, aka versus the OC. We're gonna get Mission versus Tamina.
I listen. I don't know what to say about Tamina. She's not bad. She's not good.
Nobody meaner than Tamina. That's what it is.
Right? She's like furniture. She's been there forever. My choice does not change. Cody or Seth. Okay.
Fair enough. Well, could it be Gargano or Dana Brooke, or who was the one that was picked in the middle of that? Yeah, it was Dana and Gargano, and Tamina went to SmackDown. Who was the third person picked for Monday Night Raw? Fact checkers, let me know.
Bud, we just watched this and neither one of us can remember.
Vitamins.
I'm not blaming vitamins. I'm blaming the
That
channel.
tells you how relevant those picks were.
Dana Brooke, Johnny Gargano, and
Well, it can't be Candace.
no, I think it was a dude.
It can't be Zelina. Was it a dude? I thought it was a female.
Oh no, it was Nikki Cross.
There we go. Almost a wrestler, Nikki Cross.
Where's Ciampa? Is he still recovering?
I believe so.
You got to give us some DIY. I mean, if we're getting the way on the main roster, I'm going to be bummed out.
Yeah, brought to you by Home Depot, some DIY.
We'll see if Raw gets good next week. I mean, coming off the heels of Backlash and coming off this draft, it will officially be the reset.
I was going to say, again, mind you, folks, of the draft results do not take into effect until after Backlash, which will be live for this Saturday night.
Right.
But none of the draft results take effect until then. So that's why you get the interesting matchup of NXT Women's Tag Team Title Championship, to where neither team actually competes on NXT anymore.
Right. KJ, did you just say Johnny Depp? I don't think I did.
I got a jar.
Right. But why is the rum gone?
Because I drank it.
Right. We will see if Raw gets good. We got that one, 6.5. I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna agree with Vance here tonight. I like a 7. I was entertained. I think there was a lot of spots that could have been a little bit better. The main reason of the eyes coming to the show tonight is the draft. The draft could have had a little more presence. Overall, though, the decent matches, decent show. Pushed, I think our new buddy up above said that they were pushing some Backlash storyline along. So I was all for it. The draft was a little too cookie cutter, a little too clean. Not really. There was no real energy to it. It was just, somebody called it what? A brand placement, or
Yeah,
so
that's what it was called. It was a brand
placement.
But that's what happens when you get over 2 nights. Granted, we've got the NXT locker room all there, and that works. Like, I like that feels like when you watch even the NFL draft, the NHL draft, what have you, if you see prospects that they expect that they're going to go high and everything, and all of a sudden they're answering the phone and the pick is in. Right. Like, that would make that cool versus just literally so free agents are Baron Corbin, the Hurt Business, Zion Quinn, and Elias.
So Zion Quinn, after doing nothing on NXT, is being called up.
No, they're free agents. And we got Booze to SmackDown, but we can't get Elias to SmackDown. Happy Corbin, nobody wants. With the Hurt Business, I know I picked them, but do we get them? They're also free agents as much as Omos and MVP is. So do we get maybe a new Hurt Business? Allegedly.
We've been hoping, we've been talking about it, and I think that's the best. The best Bobby Lashley is Hurt Business Bobby Lashley, period. Mm-hmm. So give us that, because it's best
face
for him.
Or heel.
Yeah, and it's best for him. It's best for us. Do it. Why have we not done it?
Damien says 8.5. Van says, what happened to Eric Young? You can answer
free agent.
That. You're Canadian.
Yeah, we got Pretty Deadly back.
So by the way, also, I guess, across Monday Night Raw, we've got Los Lotharios, Los Lozitos, Los Who Gives a Fuckos.
Los Lobos.
Yeah. How far is
Dewdrop,
Akira, Piper Niven, get her name right. Piper Niven, Xylee, female Jeff Hardy, Tegan Knox.
You're making it. Emma and
Riddick Moss. He's now Riddick Moss instead of
Riddick. He's back to Riddick. Good.
So we've got the Mosses. Isn't it always like, what was it like? Moss never grow like what moss always grows south on a tree and everything like that. Well, moss is growing on Monday Night Raw. I feel now after this round of draft picks here.
Just scooped up they need jobbers. They need some filler.
You got 3 hours. You got to fill.
You got 3 hours.
You got to pad that shit out. 4 free agents. Well, we had 4 before, so.
How long is Raw talk? It's about to end for us. Trust me.
Well, still, who does SmackDown pick? We've had all these picks from Monday Night Raw. Who the fuck does SmackDown pick? There's got to be somebody somewhere, something.
I love 2002. The first draft was a classic. I agree. It was fun.
All right. The Consortium. See, that's again where you got to combine Ric Flair with Dusty of the Consortium.
The Saturday, Zack Sabre got that one. Yes. Will SmackDown get a good roster this week? I think they have one.
A good roster.
Yeah. The Daily Wrestling Empire. What happened, Eric Young? Yeah, I think SmackDown did extremely well. Most people think they won. No.
Right.
Tamina on SmackDown. Why does that matter? Why are we even being told where she's going? Why isn't she just a free agent? Like, we haven't seen her on TV in like 12 months, 13 months.
Because
last time I saw her, she was in the
bloodline. She's going to be involved in the bloodline, I feel.
Think? Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, if the rumors are true that we're going to get Roman and AJ heading into Night of Champions, then we need something. We need a female
counterpart.
Something. We need a female representative within the bloodline. And Tamina's on Impact. So, or not Tamina, Trinity is on Impact. So,
fair enough. Tamina on SmackDown.
Nia Jax, maybe we get Nia Jax. I wouldn't mind Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, they've been rumoring about coming back and her feeling good, and she's
from down. She moving down. Right.
Tamina was drafted to SmackDown. Yes, she was. Breaking news: Big Nick to SmackDown.
What?
Why
did that happen? What?
I think it's Big Nick to the pillow.
I was gonna say, someone get in touch with my agent. What?
Is that the last of the picks? Are there more picks to come? What the fuck are they doing?
I don't know. It's the same thing like how I thought SmackDown Lowdown was live, and they're like, no, you can just watch this as one whole thing. I'm like, well, that's bullshit.
Okay, so
let's see if I can pull up who's still.
Is there anybody? They're all gonna end up somewhere.
Who's still
the creation of Reverend Diva? Do you remember the shock of that? Yeah.
Well, that's where we got Leviathan. We've got the Deacon Batista.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother, testify.
I agree. I mean, we've been asking for it about the Hurt Business. Corbin drafted to Wrestling Purgatory.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Him and Von Wagner become a tag team.
That's interesting. Well, because Tozawa's been to Raw.
All right.
I'm running through here. Sorry.
I'm tapping.
All right.
All right, folks. We're pushing.
Not even what I'm mad at.
We're pushing 4 hours on a Monday night. There's no supplemental picks worth staying up any longer. But, yeah, I'm thrilled that we stayed late to find out about Dana Brooke.
Someone cares.
What's that?
I said at least someone cares.
Right. But no, we thank everybody that kept that chat live tonight. For all the people that tuned in, thank you. Check out all our socials. Check out us on Instagram. Go to our Discord. We got some t-shirts and hoodies, and that's about it. Go check that out. We got more coming your way, folks. We're back tomorrow. NXT all through the week. We are the alternative commentary. The wrestling friends you can't get in your real life. The wrestling buddies, the wrestling brothers. Another one in the books, bud.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about the wrestling, you better put that for life with it. No, baby, I like it raw.
See you on the flip side,
baby, folks. I like it raw.